Like my watch. All right. Stick around for the RSD depressed snowflake cunts out there. I know you're depressed and you can't pay attention. But let's talk about RSD. They only have less than 1% success rate. I am Johnny Elite, the world's best day game coach. And I'm going to explain to you why RSD has less than 1% success rate for their students. I'm going to break it all down. And for the first time, you're going to learn all this stuff. So there's this stupid saying from haters that says RSD has a few students here and there getting laid in the comment section, as if that meant anything. But look how big RSD's crowd is. It's like huge. There's like hundreds of thousands of people. Hundreds of thousands. So when you look at it, yes, a few gets laid here and there. Less than 1%. Some of the dating coaches who puts RSD on their top 10 list, for example, Charisma King. Where's his fucking late testimonial? We haven't even seen one yet. Not even one. Second of all, RSD's Julian's technology has ruined the lives of so many Vancouver Asian day gamers everywhere. And I've seen it with my own eyes. So Julian firing blanks game is so evil, so ineffective. Maybe he didn't know that he ruined so many people's lives. He didn't know that. Where the fuck is everyone today? What the fuck? Okay, RSD 1%. Success rate exposed. Yeah, I changed the title. Okay. Having said that, I'm just here. I just woke up. It's not exactly a great day. So many haters trying to promote the RSD shit. Just hating on me. Oh, you can't say that about RSD. You can't say that about RSD. But same thing. Julian, no fucking lay testimonials. His game taught by other Asian dating coaches, 0 lay testimonials. What's going on here? Why is it 0-0 for derivatives? They learn RSD shit, but they don't get results. And they can't show fucking like anything for their students. So it is the less than 1% who has SMV advantages that shouldn't foist their treatment on 99% of people when I have the cure. Not the RSD treatment for low self-esteem, delusional, sociopathic, autistic, trigger, snowflake cunts. And I'm coining a new term called offended Asians. Offended Asians. Offended or triggered Asian men has the lowest self-esteem as they get beaten up for looking fobby. Since RSD says looks don't matter. Just spam approach, dressing with RSD hoodies. Someone from India just told me that is 2 or 3% of the RSD victims over there that are getting results in India. So he's my new student from India. There's a lot of new students, actually. I hope one of the other Asian students I got for John Elite Access is not the same fucking RSD troll that's training under me at the same time. I really hope it's not that, or he's not friends with them. But however, in India, they use nothing but RSD kind of style game. Only 2 or 3%, as he told me. And he also did not get results. So I think he eventually got a little bit by spam approaching, but that's just the thing. Most of the time he didn't. So he's trained under me. They always have the same low percentage because you may think, well, the reason why is they say some stupid shit. And I'm going to break it all down. That they don't collect testimonials. That's what RSD says. They have so many testimonials they don't collect. It's not true. Of the hundreds of thousands of people that are into RSD, guess what? Only 1% or less gets laid. Over and over. So the reason why they don't have testimonials is because they're spam approaching and they're SMVing it. And I know this because my student, the tall Middle Eastern guy, He runs all of the hot seats in Vancouver. He told me all about RSD. Many people that work within RSD told me that, John, you are right about RSD. This is a cult. This is a cult. They don't even get paid to run this cult for RSD. RSD makes 1.5 million per hot seat. That's how much they make. Half the people refunds their shit, and then they block them forever, and they retarget with the same products over and over in the email list to RSD victims as they buy over 30 products of bullshit. That's how RSD really works. It's for the lowest self-esteem sheeps. And the reason why this student gave me a testimonial is he got laid during his training period. So that's why I get testimonials. I don't force the students to make me testimonials. I don't, because they get laid, they're happy, they're not ungrateful. So they get laid, they make one, and it's like, why not, John? I'll make you one, because they're happy. But RSD coaching, they don't even have any because they're not getting laid during the coaching period. So how long does the RSD victim take to get laid? Well, first of all, think about it this way. They're spam approaching, they're going direct. Hi, you're cute. Hi, you're cute. Hi, you're cute. And they're doing this gamey shit, this high-fiving, getting women to kiss each other bullshit. And for RSD people who take their coaching, they're not getting laid for the first 6 months. They're not. There's no lays whatsoever. So therefore, they can't actually give a testimonial 6 months afterwards because they're just spam approaching with their SMV. They are SMVing it. So it doesn't really count. And that's the funny thing, because these haters are shilling out their fucking shitty free coaching or $20 coaching, and they're hating on me on these forum groups. These fucking trolls, these RSD trolls. Whenever I post a testimonial, which happens right away, the students get laid very fast. Then guess what happens? Oh, they gotta fucking scratch my Ferrari. I grab a big key and just scratch the shit out of my Ferrari or Lamborghini because they can't stand it. They can't stand it. They get butthurt because here they are, not getting any student results. Barely. And they claim, oh, I got so many student results. Blah, blah, blah. Well, show us. I haven't seen a single one of them. Just self-proclaimed bullshit. RSD stuff does not work. And it works only for 1%. And that's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. So, the reason why they don't get laid is because some students have enough SMV and some do not. So when you look at this chart, I have a big fan over here. Hopefully I can still write here. This is exactly the big problem. Yeah, here's a new pen. Hopefully it doesn't run out of ink very fast. Here's their potential. Here's their actions. Here's their results. And lastly, this is their belief that they form. So it kind of goes in this order. Potential, action, results, belief. And it keeps going over and over. So if you have low SMV, there are two students I had, and they knew each other. They're both from Reddit, that fucking forum where they can rip your fucking reputation to the ground for no fucking reason other than the fact that they're defending RSD. And eventually, John Elite's coaching is going to take over all of Reddit. Everyone within the next 2 or 3 years are going to be using John Elite stuff. And so there's going to be a big underground resistance, just like it is happening now. But before that happens, they're fighting for the RSD side. So RSD works by spam approaching. So basically, you think you have so much potential because RSD Tyler is telling you that looks don't matter, race don't matter, height don't matter. Just spam approach. Take massive fucking action. Massive, uncalibrated, motherfucking action. Then what happens to their results? Because they're dressed like shit. They barely get results. And after thousands of this shit, there was 2 students on Reddit. One of them came to me because he knew the other guy. The guy who fucked me over for $2.2 million when I taught him. He got laid. He's 5'11", buffed and good-looking Asian guy, but he looked like shit at the time when he got laid. So his looks didn't help, but his height did help, and he got some muscles on him. But for him, he was 5'11", and he just SMV'd it. Eventually, after thousands and thousands of approaches, before he got burnt out, then he came for John Elite's coaching. So what happened was, where's your Reddit page? Where are they bashing you? It's not important. It just, I don't have a Reddit page. The point is this. I'm being under attack by these RSD victims because I'm making fun of RSD and they don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear it. They're looking at all the lay testimonials. They're going on a fishing expedition. They're attacking every motherfucking thing they can. They're saying this and that. They're just making up bullshit. The student testimonial is not real, and then I show it's real from the audio infields. Everything that they're trying to fucking attack, these RSD victims. But you know what's good? Because when you have haters, you have made it. They don't attack people that you need more haters. Because they read every motherfucking thing that you say. You need more fucking fans. And Reddit are a bunch of idiots. That forum group is a place where people can slander each other. You break the laws, defamation of character, nonstop. But these fucking RSD victims, the first one that I knew, that student that made 2.2 million, guess what happened? He was a Reddit user. He told me that he was on Reddit, and that is one of the Reddit users that got laid. He had 3 fuck buddies, and he's engaged to the third fuck buddy, which is a Korean woman. He fucked a black woman. He fucked a Latina, and then a Korean. And then now, I'm not sure if they're married yet, because I haven't kept in touch after he fucked me over. But for him, he would do so much fucking spam approaching. Like, he approached so much that he fucked up his mind. And then his friend is a short little fuck. He's 5'5", and he's spam approaching with narcissism. Because it was an RSD take massive action. It's just narcissistic personality disorder. So he kept approaching and he kept getting rejected. So for him, he thought his potential was just as high. They're both Asians. The actions are pretty much the same. They're narcissistic. They have no social skills. And they're going direct and acting like clowns. Their results are different. The results are extremely fucking different because one had higher SMV. Now he's wearing heel lifts. He's going to be 5'6.5". And the belief changes. It goes in a downward spiral. That's the problem with RSD. So the people with high SMV being 5'11", he's that 1% that eventually got laid, but not during the RSD training. It took him months and months and months and months. So what happened when I trained him with the John Elite bundle? And these fucking haters are saying, oh yeah, both products are the same. Right? Greg the Guzman, the fucking loser, the biggest loser, and his brother. When I create Elite 30, it's because his autistic fucking brother, you know, he was unteachable. Well, I'm talking about unteachable cases. He was totally unteachable. And he didn't learn shit. He's like a fucking dual core processor. But however, his brother, who was pumping steroids, who was super buff, got laid, and he got like 7 lays under my coaching. Before he went to Justin Wayne's coaching, he got no fucking results or barely anything. So you can say Justin Wayne or RSD, that 1%, because he is buff. Even at 5'7", he looks like a Ninja Turtle. Muscles do not matter if you're below 5'9", unless you look like a fucking Ninja Turtle with excessive amount of muscles. Otherwise, it doesn't mean shit. You rather boost your motherfucking height. So for this guy, right? He is that 1% that's preaching to all the other motherfuckers out there. That 1% that got laid with RSD shit, although he didn't get laid until my training. Until my fucking training, he got barely any fucking lays and got frustrated. He paid me $40 fucking for email coaching. That cheap piece of shit motherfucker, he couldn't afford it because Justin Wayne says, you know what, Johnny Lee is the best dating coach out there right now. He's the up and coming, right? It's called Gaming Elite. You go to him and you try to get coaching, right? That's what he did. He went to me for coaching. And he says, I'm cheap, right? I get some email coaching. So for him, on his steroids, he got laid. in the public bathroom. But before, it was so frustrating. He was happy, so he made a video testimonial. Until his fucking brother walks with all gray hairs. His brother has low fucking SMV, old, gray hairs everywhere, autistic as shit. And you know what happens? He didn't get laid. And they blame me because there's no Elite 30 back then. There was no Elite 30. So his brother did not get laid, but he got laid. Why is he mad at me? That's a 50% got laid, and the other autistic half did not. They're both autistic as shit. They both have sociopath eyes. They both look like serial killers. But one of them got laid, the other one did not get laid. Why is that? Because one had higher SMV. That's what's happening with RSD victims. That 1% with enough SMV who are SMVing, they think by approaching thousands and thousands of times gets laid. And look at my 5'11" student. After he got Elite 30 and Elite Playbook, he'd been practicing in the mirror every single day. His 3 lays happened within 3 weeks. It was very, very short. And I also had another 5'7" Asian guy in Europe who was pretty good looking, pretty boy type, even better looking than me. I'm decent looking, but that guy is much better looking. And for him, he's got close to 10 lays, around 8 to 10 lays. But they took longer because he's 5'7" for the other guy. He wore the same fashion as me, everything, but he had to approach a lot more. But he got laid. At least it didn't take as long as before. It didn't take as long as before because he had to change the fashion. He had to change the skills. He did a little bit more natural kind of game, but he still used Elite 30, Elite Playbook. I saw that guy in Poland, so I filmed his video testimonial there. But you can see it took a little bit longer for the 5'7" guy, finally switching over to my game. But this is RSD, because if you have high SMV, you're that 1% that has it. And even these dating coaches who are foisting RSD shit on you, they have extremely high fucking SMV. They have the highest SMV in the whole motherfucking industry. The highest. And they're telling everybody else RSD stuff works. And they're killing everyone in the process. That's what you don't understand. This thing, upward or downward spiral. Upward or downward spiral. RSD is evil. So that small percentage of RSD victims, that 1 fucking percent finally gets results. They should not be preaching to the 99% that is not getting results and that have so many students that are RSD victims that have to fix. It's really fucking annoying to hear an unteachable case. And the RSD shit, especially during COVID-19. Give it a thumbs up if you're liking this. So you should be every bit as intimidated by my coaching, and their fucking small 1% should not preach shit. I believe in these fucking forum groups, Reddit. One of these days, everyone's going to use my system. 2/3 of the people are going to overrun. All the Asians are going to be leveling up because they're unteachable. They're slow to learn skills. But when they get the fucking skills like the Asians before, during lockdown 1, the Asians got laid fast because they're thinking, oh, that's just the Wuhan flu. It's just the Wuhan flu. So therefore, it is over there in China, right? It's in Wuhan, right? It's China, Wuhan. So it's not these Asians, right? These are different Asians. Lockdown 2, they're still not getting beaten up. COVID-19 goes for another year. Second lockdown. Okay? Asian students are still getting results. But lockdown 3, yes, it's been a lot harder because now Asians are getting punched in the back of the head by black people too and white people. They just love to punch an Asian. A big, tall black guy will just boom, punch the Asian in the back of the head like it's whack-a-mole. That's how it is right now. Exactly 140% up the hate crimes against Asians. But who gives a fuck about Asians? Nobody cares about the hate crimes against the Asians. You see that? We are literally a subhuman race to the rest of the world right now. That is even below black people who have so many rights with the George Floyd and everything else. They got so much fucking rights. We got no fucking rights. We got no rights. We got to fight for our fucking rights. The Asians, and that's the problem. Because when you got these fucking haters from Reddit and shit, they're like saying, oh yeah, you should not dress like Johnny Elite students. You should find your own fashion. Well, guess what's happening when you find your own fashion? That may work before the pandemic, but it's not going to work during the pandemic. Now, Asians are getting beaten up. Has any of my students ever been called slurs or have any of my students ever been beaten up. Not even one. Not even one has been beaten up because they're dressed whitewashed. And this is a little bit like a Asian wash. This jacket is like a Mao jacket. It's like a China jacket. It's just funny to me. But this is not how you should be dressing. Yeah, fuck this shit. Fucking Mao jacket. That's what it's called. I'm not joking. That's the style, the neck. Fuck that. However, if they're getting beaten up, the Asians are getting beaten up, then JT Tran would say something like, oh, you cannot actually day game or code approach in a KKK rally. That's what he says. But guess what? My students are literally code approaching in a KKK rally. They're going out there and day gaming, but they're not receiving any racism. That's the funny thing about RSD, is that small 1% is now preaching to the rest. Oh yeah, you shouldn't dress like whatever Johnny Elite students. But if you don't dress like Johnny Elite students, you're gonna get punched in the back of the head by a tall black guy. And this happens on the news every single day. It's a new black guy punching an Asian or hitting them with a hammer in the back of the fucking head. Amazing, amazing. And the people that are protecting the Asians, that are walking them to their supermarkets or walking them to the doctors, guess what? The people that are protecting the Asian men in California looks more Wuhan washed than when China becomes number one world economy. What effect do you think this? It has no effect on the world at all. Because if you want to dominate a society, there's multi levels of domination you need. For Genghis Khan, Genghis Khan raped the women, and they also dominate the men and killed them. You need to dominate the men and the women. The thing about the Chinese, as they call it, the fucking communists, is that they haven't dominated shit. If they dominate economically, okay, at least they're being contained like a fucking tumor that they are. However, they're being contained by all the other countries. They're fighting back, which is great. But however, they have not dominated white women. They have not. So who gives a fuck? Chinese ain't gonna dominate shit. Even if they're number one, they're not the conquering tribe. The only people they have dominated is the Uyghurs or Uyghurs, whatever they call it. They're called Uyghurs. The Uyghur tribe, the Muslim tribe, is the one that they rape the women in their detention centers and they dominate. But that's a very small tribe. How do you learn how to give good advice on how students should dress in order to boost their? Well, basically, I actually started field testing everything more than 10 years ago. So I try every combination. You wouldn't believe how much clothing I actually have. How about this? I'll show you some of the clothing I have, and you're going to freak the fuck out. Every combination, just like my game, has been tested. You're so scientific, John. You're testing every fucking variable. Of course I do. Because it needs to be field tested and split tested. So I'll just grab a couple of jackets here, and you'll be like, "What the fuck?" Okay? And you'll be like, "What the fuck? You got so much clothing here." There's no way you have this much clothing. This is just a small percentage of it. This is just a small percentage. It's all over there. So I tried this combination to see how it works. This only works around where, certain areas that have mostly teenage girls because it looks more like a Justin Bieber type. Does that make sense? So whenever I dress like this, I'm more attractive to them because I won't be dressing like in a blazer. It wouldn't work. It's almost like a machine gun, Now it's like John's like almost like a teenager, 20-year-old or something. You see that? And they love this. When I dress like this, I look younger and I look like I can fit into that Justin Bieber kind of look, that pretty boy look. So that works really, really well for teenage white girls. So that's being tested, but it doesn't work elsewhere. So every combination is tested. Unless you're like a tall black guy or something, or a tall black looking guy, then you can wear shit like this. And you can look more alpha. Even if you're not black. Then you got the Dan Pena kind of jackets, And now they're hitting on me because They're saying, oh, Dan Pena like mentored Johnny Elite. So therefore, so this one gives you more of a rich kind of look. So every combination has been tested with women. This one does not always work for all the women in Vancouver. It works for a limited amount because sometimes your value goes too high. Hope that makes sense. If the value is too high, then she's going to all reject you because she doesn't think she's good enough. So everything is down to a science. There is no theories. Hope that makes sense. But yeah, I can. How about this? I'll just wear this one. Okay? I'll wear this one. Let's stick to the topic. Okay. So basically for RSD, only 1% of students get laid because they SMV it because they go through that whole process up there. They go through the potential. They think they have a lot of potential. The taller guys, the actions that they take leads to more results, but they have to do a huge volume. So basically for me, before COVID-19, when I was working for a different company, I was called John Wayne. But the point is, at that time, I had more students, same fucking system. And I had 80% of the students pulling a woman home. It didn't mean they fuck them. It's just like pulling like those other tall white dating coaches. Pulling that nothing fucking happens. But 70% got laid. So it's like most of them. But COVID-19 is a little bit different. There's a virus here that is really affecting the algorithms, but I still have the most students laid in day game for COVID-19. Asian guys do have it hard. I can go months without seeing an Asian guy with a white girl, but Asian women with a white guy, right? Damn, not 2 days without seeing that pairing. Dude, it's not even 2 days. It's more like in Vancouver, every weekend, that is the most common pairing. I'm not joking. All you see is Asian women and tall white guys. The guys with receding hairlines, and they're tall. It's not to discriminate against them, but that's the most common pairing. The second one is obviously the white couple, and the third one is Asian. But it's mostly tall white. They could be on Tinder dates for all I know. Maybe they're not couples. I'm not really 100% sure. But they show up on the weekend, and they completely flood the movie theaters. And they completely flood everywhere, all over the streets. And once a month, I see an Asian guy with a white girl over here in Vancouver. You know? So it's very, very rare. When I was living in Vancouver, that's very rare. So you want to move to Toronto. You don't want to be in Vancouver. It's more open for dating, the society. All right. So this delusional fucking hater taking steroids, this motherfucker has Charles Manson eyes. They make themselves seem like resident experts, but they're not. They're total fucking losers, slandering my name. So how dare they accuse me of making outs on these fucking stupid forum groups? Like I said, Johnny Elite is now. I am not the out accounts. They're accusing me, oh, John's making like 100 outs and saying you're coaching. No. The new problem with RSD is I think they can't connect with the girls. It's like everything they do is to self-amuse. 100% correct. 100% correct. If you look at Julian Blanc's game, for example, and most of the white guys are not alpha-like guys. They're meek and mild, sometimes older and chubby. She has higher standard for Asian guys, but lower for white guys. 100% accurate, 100%. You nailed it. It's not because of their looks. She's into him because of his race and height. And because she thinks that if she procreated with him, she's going to have a better future for the kids. So whenever you see these women like Natalie Tran, who looks at these unattractive Caucasian guys, and I have nothing against Caucasian guys. I don't, because I have a lot of white students, lots and lots. And I want double of the white students or triple. I want double of the Asians and double of the Indians. The new team Johnny Elite is going to be there, marching out there in COVID-19 and fucking killing everything in sight, metaphorically speaking, like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. That's fine. But the Asian women usually have a square jawline. Almost all of them, universally. If you type in, a lot of people think, well, John's wrong about this, but Asian women, white guy. Just to make sure it's not a theory. And about RSD, we'll get into the self-amusement thing. So it's hypergamy. So whenever you look at Asian women dating white guys, so what do you see? Have you noticed that in most cases, not all cases, but in most cases, look at her jawline. Do you know how square it is? See that? This is something you have not noticed. Their jawline is like this, like mine. Square hair, and then like that. You like square jaw? Makes babies integrate and dominate society. Well, it is a hypergamy. Okay, here's a second picture. It is, I'm just clicking some random pictures. It's not like I'm picking like out of a hat. See that? Do you see a square jawline? Tell me I'm not making this shit up. Can you guys see it? You're like, well, you're just cherry picking, right? You're just cherry picking. But what if I told you there's tons of guys like that? Here's another square jawline. Look at that, square jaw. Wait a minute. John's onto something. John has picked up on something that the world has not figured out yet. It's like, holy shit. 1 second. They're all square jawlines. Here's Natalie Tran with this creepy charisma king looking guy with a receding hairline. Look how she's a YouTube influencer, but look at her fucking jawline. It's squarish. It's not to discriminate against her, but they all have a square jawline. So what is happening here? Why are these square jaws dating white men with a receding hairline? How is it possible that they're all square jaw? Well, I think this guy's a movie actor, but the women is a square jaw. You see that? You're like, holy shit. Darker skinned Asian guys such as Filipino, Cambodian, Thai be more outgoing, sociable as compared to Chinese. No, Koreans are actually, they have the best social skills. Filipino is next. And then I don't think, yeah, Filipino is next. The Chinese are autistic as shit. They're almost like Asperger's, like when I teach the Chinese students. Teaching them social skills. These guys are narcissistic as much as the Indians, and they're extremely, extremely low self-esteem and high ego. The Chinese has a Mao-A gene, MAO-A. Look it up, a psychopath gene, and that's very, very common. They cannot connect, and it's very common among the Vietnamese too. The Vietnamese are super triggered. For my students, they're the most triggered students out of all of them. I don't know why they're so triggered. Holy shit! Look at this square jaw. Look at that majestic square jaw. Look at that. Isn't that, have you ever seen that square jaw so majestic? Look, another one, just in a picture right next to it. Kind of a square round jaw, but you see how wide their jawlines are? Why? What's happening here? What is Johnny Elite in the mental filter seeing the world is not seeing? Why is there so many square jaws? Because in Vancouver, it used to be all square jaws. It used to be all square jaws. But then some of the rectangular jaws showed up. White guys. Always square jaw. Always square, square, square. It'll keep going on forever. Just Google it yourself. Square jaw, square jaw, square jaw, square jaw. And if the Asian woman is Filipina or Cambodian, but she cannot get a white guy, she'll always go for the black guy or Latino guy, whatever is up the ladder. It's all hypergamy. So if you don't think race matters, then you look at these guys who are using fucking Tinder testimonials, which doesn't even count for lay counts or day game. It's like not even pickup. It's not even pickup. But somehow they make it into something. And you always see like 95% of the students are white. So white is right. Unfortunately, I'm not saying that to be racist. I'm not saying that as a, I'm just saying in terms of response rate, women do give white people more chances on Tinder. This is a fact, especially Asian women. A white guy get a million fucking Asian women matches. Million. RC coaches also don't know how to sexualize interaction properly. That's right. They have never, ever flirt or sexualize. So RSD likes to do that self-amusing, as you say. So for them, imagine in their mental filter, because they're clowns, they like to grab her, they like to high-five her, they like to do all that shit. The reason why they do that because they're autistic, because they cannot keep her on the line with social skills. So what's happening with the type A, as I talked about, for the kind of students who are sociopath, narcissistic, autistic or Asperger's, and delusional, and those types, they have to do this kind of shit. They have to be cocky, funny. They have to self-amuse. They cannot flirt. They can't do any of that social skills stuff. And the reason why they can't do that is because they're autistic and they have no social skills. You're like, well, John, like the fucking hater sounds like this. Well, John cannot diagnose people, right, for mental illnesses. Well, guess what? I diagnose Elon Musk all this time for mental illnesses, right? For Asperger's. And on Saturday Night Live, he says he has Asperger's. It's like John was right. John was right. All along. Of course I can diagnose because I fucking studied this for most of my fucking adult life. I've been studying psychology since I was like 20 years old till now. It's been so many years. And guess what? Unfortunately, in my field, because I get nothing but unteachable cases who doesn't fucking change for shit, especially on Johnny Lee Access, I probably dealt with more mental patients than a fucking mental hospital. And the worst of them are RSD victims. Holy shit. And the problem with RSD victims is what happens if they're short and they don't have a cool lifestyle because they're autistic as shit. Oh my God. They get knocked down like a fucking bowling pin. They're unchangeable. And I'm trying to tell this student to be more changeable. I don't want to play his audio, but I could. And he's not changing. Okay, another student. RSD victim. A little over 4 minutes, less than 3 minutes. Going out, so practicing morning. I'm going to do no stakes. So now this RSD victim, yes, sir, I'll be your data for 2-core processor. We'll make it happen. It's just like when I talked about it in a few videos before, I talked about how their brains is like a dual-core processor. If they do too much processing, for example, social skills. Social skills has a 3-processor core. Right here could be comments, opening questions, and I won't say the rest. But imagine there's 3 steps to learn social skills, but they have a 2-core. So therefore, they have a bottleneck. But if you try to do that plus the right tonality, that's 4 cores. You see that? And what happens when you try to flirt besides cocky, funny? That's 5 cores. You see that? RSD victims cannot run multiple cores. That's why they can only spam approach without any sort of fucking skills. Over and over, SMVing it with race and height. That's it. You're like, holy shit, John's right. So it depends on the hierarchy. It also depends on the height. But some people like to say that looks matter. In my students, when I look at for all of them, there's only like 4 good-looking students that look like models. The rest are very, very average. Very, very average and ordinary. They're just taller, better dressed, better social skills. It's like, what the fuck? Some of the students are actually real models. For one of them, is a professional model here. And acting too and stuff like that. So I can't really say what TV show he's on, but that's one of my students before as Gaming Elite. For him, he got 3 lays, 1 blowjob, and 1 pull on the boot camp. He's a Russian guy. Ruski, Bilet, Russian. But however, other people who are not as good looking as him get exactly the same fucking results when they're the same height. He's 6 foot tall. You see, height doesn't matter. It doesn't matter on Tinder, and it doesn't matter on night game. But on day game, holy shit, does it ever fucking matter? Height or muscles, what's more important? If you are short and you try to be muscular, it wouldn't do shit until you get those heel lifts and make 5'9". Then it matters. But holy shit, why didn't they tell you this? They just tell you to work out more. Hell, they even lower their fucking height in the process. They say, oh, height now matters, but let's lower down their own height. Yeah, it's bullshit. If they tower over me, the proportions are very, very good because they look like they're very tall and stuff. They're not like fucking short as they claim they are. And a lot of dating coaches, especially there's one RSD Asian dating coach. He's not RSD, but he teaches RSD shit. He's like 5'11" or something. And he says he's 5'10" to the students, so it's more relatable. It's bullshit. But yeah, because of the multi-cores, they cannot run flirting, which a natural can do, or social skills at the same time. So they SMV it. That means they believe by approaching more, eventually through thousands and thousands of approaches, the best way to understand it is very, very simple. I saw white coach sexualizing a girl. I'm going to guess something about you. You love to be choked. Why do you think that's the way of sexualizing? that's kind of retarded, but okay, it's still sexualizing. There's a bunch of white dating coaches who are trying to sexualize the interaction, and they're touching nonstop. That's what they're doing. They're just directly sexualizing. You should be indirectly sexualizing. You should be asking her, do you like it when you get your hair pulled? Do you like it when a guy pulls your hair? And you should like, or a girl pulls your hair. She's like, yeah, of course. Do you like it when a guy does it? You see what I mean? Because you're asking a question, you're indirectly flirting while you're maintaining the body language. When they hunch, it's platonic. But when they fix it with Elite 30 body language, it is not acting lessons. On Reddit, they're trying to say, oh yeah, Elite 30 is acting lessons. It's not acting lessons. If you're autistic, there's no amount of acting that you can do that doesn't seem like sociopathic. So you better have some SMV. I mean, I want to say to the hater, did your brother, when he's doing acting lessons, did he do well, or did he get like ran over by a big fucking Mack truck in Diga with his fucking gray hairs everywhere and just autistic one core mind? I mean, yeah, it's really acting lessons. Your brother is a completely fucking crazy looking psycho, and you are too. You look like, but you're taking steroids, and you think you're a creepy fucking vibe. You know, it's like you're just SMVing it. You have no skills. And that's the problem. All these guys who are RSD victims, they all have SMV. And now the whole world. But you look at their testimonials. Yeah, sure. Once in a while, it does pop up. But my Middle Eastern student, that bald guy, that 6'2" guy, had no results with RSD. Guess what happens? And I have other RSD victims that wanted to get out of RSD because they're volunteering. They show me, John, this is my computer and my laptop. I run all of RSD Nation for Vancouver. John, look at this. Nobody got laid. Whenever somebody gets laid in Vancouver's RSD Nation, it becomes a huge event. It's almost like a celebration. It rarely fucking happens. Maybe once out of every 3 or 4 months, somebody gets laid. That 1%. When they're SMVing it. That's why they don't have to lay testimonials, because they're not getting laid during the training period. That's what's happening. And that 1% is now sucking on RSD's cock and telling everyone RSD is the solution. They are the problem. RSD is the agents. They are not taking you out of the matrix. That's my job. I'm the Neo. They're the ones who are putting this matrix over you because they know you're delusional. Now I'm teaching how to raise your fucking self-esteem and lower your ego through the binaural beats, the audio. Because you can listen to it 5 hours a day and lower your fucking ego, okay? Now you are less delusional. RSD knew you were delusional. They knew you could not see it. You can only see 2 expressions. This is kind of like RSD Tyler. Happy, high vibrational energy. So they don't offend you. And when you see Johnny Lee, right? Low vibrational energy, because their autistic brain can only decode smile or stress. Even if I'm trying to seriously get a message to the RSD victims, they're looking like this. They always have this fucking thing in their mouth. So basically, if you have high SMV, you should go touch a girl a lot apart from having good social skills. No, you don't need to touch them a lot. You got to think about it this way. It's a boxing match, okay? A jab is like a... Okay, this jacket's really hard to do the punches, but jab, okay? Oh, fuck. It's like a... Okay, when I explain this, right, you'll start to see why RSD's game is autistic, okay? Proof is in the pudding. If effective, why so many courses? That's a better question. Why do they have 30 courses, and how come I'm not releasing new courses, even though I could? Why is John not releasing new courses? Because my courses fucking work. They always worked. And some fucking hater is saying, oh, both courses are very similar. They're not similar. There is no escalation ladder in Elite 30. It is a body language, you know, a little bit of verbal course. Playbook is all heavily verbal lines and stuff. So it's more of a game course and escalation ladder and dating and stuff, texting and everything else. It's a complete course for the game, but you must finish this first. But they're like saying, oh, it's acting lessons, these fucking cockfags from Reddit, these haters, these faceless, nameless trolls. Oh, yeah, it's like acting lessons. That's how you talk about it. It's like acting lessons. It's not acting lessons, you fucking idiot. And they're like saying, oh, yeah, you can just copy James Bond or actors' body language. You don't need John's coaching. if you're autistic and you try to copy James Bond, you're gonna look so fucking fake. You're gonna look incongruent. It's not gonna be natural. And guess what? My old roommate, my best friend, the Indian guy, he used to copy all the other actors. Robert Downey Jr., James Bond. He learned that from Jason Capital or Crapital. So he started acting like a tryhard. And when I was creating Elite 30 and he was filming it, he had to unlearn all that fucking skills. The name is Simon Bond. Oh, whatever it's called. I don't know. But if you try to act like James Bond and you are a fucking Asian guy, or like him, he was an Indian guy who looks Latino, it didn't fucking help. It did not help at all. But they don't touch the girl during interactions. Harder to fuck. Okay, I'm gonna answer your question, and you're gonna love the answer. Okay, you're gonna love the answer. Okay, for Noob Nab. Okay, give it a thumbs up if you guys like this answer. I'm gonna decode every single person's RSD game. Why it's gonna fail. Okay, there's gonna be 4 punches. 4 punches. Number 1 is gonna be a jab. The second one's gonna call right cross. Now you can see why RSD game will not work. Flirt is gonna be a hook. And the last one is going to be game. Is going to be or touch. Is going to be uppercut. And you can see why it does not work. Imagine the woman is trying to knock you out. I gotta put down this watch. Watch, noob. You're gonna have a big fucking mind fuck here. Okay, be careful with this one. You're gonna have a big fucking mind fuck. You're gonna have the biggest mind fuck of your life. It's not to be violent, but sometimes you need to jab more in the conversation. Okay? Are you listening to this, noob? If you're jabbing in the conversation over and over, right? Guess what happens? You're talking back and forth. Am I right? Jab, 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 right? Am I right? But is that going to win the match? Yes or no? Noob, answer the question. If you're just jabbing, just being natural, the answer is very simple. No, you're not going to win the fight. But what is the right cross? No, of course not, right? Because she can hit you. Exactly. Because she can reject you, say, I got a boyfriend, or I got to leave. Or do you always talk to girls like this? So therefore, you're taking a punch right to the teeth. And they're already off the line. But however, my students know that if she's giving attitude, they have to right cross. Does that make sense? That is the tease. Self-amuse, teasing, push-pull, challenging. All that shit is on the right cross. You see that? So what happens if you try to right cross too much, like London Day Game? Or you try and be like cocky funny, like RSD Julian? Is that going to work if you just keep throwing the right punch like this in the beginning? Answer the question, noob. Is that going to work? Or can she knock you out? It's always like talk like this, shit test. Can you pass it? Yeah, that's all they can think of because they're thinking game tactics because they're autistic. They're autistic. Like if you pass a shit test. Yeah, that's the thing is that fuck this shit test thing. The shit test is because you're incongruent. That's why you get a shit test. Because they don't look like an alpha male. They're acting like a beta fucking male cuck. But you cannot just keep throwing. Yeah, you can pull. You need the battery or variety of tools in your tool. Exactly. So, NK over here, you need a battery or variety of tools in your toolbox to increase the odds of landing that knockout punch. You're partially right. You need multiple tools. In London Day Game, they go right to the right cross, like a light one, to stagger her. So they say, hi, I thought you look kind of nice. I want to come by and say hi. Right cross. But guess what? Push-pull. You know? You look like this, but I'm not impressed. Push-pull. Assumption stories. Challenging. You cannot keep throwing the right cross in the MMA match. Neither can you keep throwing the jab. Because the jab is not going to knock them out. It's just to keep them on the line. You need the right cross in order to stagger them. But what happens when you're using this stupid game like Todd Valentine, when you're giving validation? It's like a right cross. So, or it's like a nonstop flirt. It's like a validation. But that's a problem. Their validation is not the same as a flirt. Their validation is lower value. Hi, oh, I love that about you. Wow, that's so cool. I love that. That's every time you do that, your value is here. I love you. You know what? Wow, that's so cool about you. Wow, your value is going lower, guys. You see that? You're literally trying to do a light hook, but you're eating a lot of punches. And they're hoping they can stagger her by a compliment, right cross, and then they try to do a few hooks. But guess what? They have no social skills. Now they got to stack DHVs. Stack DHVs, stack DHVs, stack. There's no jabs in their game. So for Todd Valentine, it's just more like a, hi, I just thought you're adorable. Oh, I'm like a boy and you're like a girl. I'm talking to you. It's just like, mama. And he's eating all the punches as he's trying to do this kind of hooks, this kind of validation. But it's not really it's not even a flirt. It's like halfway between this punch and halfway here. It's not even up here. It's not even like a hook. When you hook to the side, that's a flirt. So let me guys ask you a question. Let's say, for example, you were pretty good at jabs, okay? I'm gonna ask you a question. If you're pretty good at jabs, but you know exactly when to throw the right cross, right? Boom. Right? Boom, at the right times. Can you win the entire match for day game with just 2 punches? Let me ask you a question. Can you win with 2 punches? Answer the question. RC don't know how to make the girls invest in a conversation. I did not take the coronavirus jab yet because I have a needle phobia. I'm very fucked up about it. So, can you win the match? The answer is no. You cannot win the match. Yes, you are having a normal conversation, okay? Noob? Right? And you're hitting in the right places. She's staying there. But because you did not flirt, she's off the line. So all these people saying 10% bullshit is bullshit. John, your system uses all 4 punches depending on what's being thrown. Yeah, exactly. Nathan Kelly understands that is all adapted to the women. You're like, holy shit. But how you do this in real time, John? That's right. You got to raise the self-esteem and lower the fucking ego through the binaural beats. So that way you're not delusional. This game is not that compatible with RSD victims because they're delusional. Don't you guys get it? So if this is the line, okay? Let's say, for example, here's the line right here, okay? And you teased her over here with the right cross. Pow. Okay, but you go back to the jab. You see that? She's back on the line here. Great, right? But here's the problem. When she's on the line, she's giving you attitude again, right? Right cross, back on the line. Great. But what happens if she stays on the line too long? You see that? Now it becomes platonic over here. It becomes platonic. So right over here, if you do not flirt, which is a hook punch, you get it? If you are not hooking the punch right here, guess what happens? She's off the fucking line. That means you got to throw some flirts at the right times. Do you guys get it? You have to hit the flirt when she's platonic and she's investing. That's what you're saying about investing. If she's not fucking investing, you can't throw the flirts. But why do they keep throwing flirts over and over? That's the problem. Because you got these guys who are doing this romantic and sexual shit all the time. Flirt this, flirt that. I fall in love with you, this and that. Why do they fucking do that? My students don't do that. They stay on the fucking line. It's very fucking simple. Because their game is opposite of mine. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. They're using this way. Game, emotional control, vibing their SMV, just like RSD. They're vibing their value. And then they go into a little bit of social calibrations once in a while, but they don't know what Elite 30 is. So they think it's a fucking acting lessons. Don't you get it? It's the other fucking way around. It's social skills, social calibrations, emotional control, and game. You get it? You start with social skills. Then the body language from Elite 30, right? Elite 30 solves half of the problem right here, half. And then afterwards, then you can worry about emotions, which can be done with ashwagandha to learn how to relax. So you can be more chilled like a natural. You see how try-hard they are? Because they're not relaxed. In day game, they're always trying so fucking hard. They're fucking try-hards. They're always trying so motherfucking hard. And that's annoying as shit. They need more DHV stories, more touches, more flirts, more. They never thought about relaxing with a perfect body language that's calibrated and keeping her on the line. They never thought about that. Jab, I like your shirt. Right jab, you smell like shit. Left jab, just kidding, you smell good. No, there's too much validation. You see that? Even if you're doing fuck push pulls. Push pull is like unnecessary unless you are kind of ugly. You don't need to do a push pull. It's a behavioral game. It's more like, speaking of shirts, I should wash my shirt sometime, but I forgot to do it today. I'm just curious. Do you actually, are you also like that? Are you a lazy person? And she's like, yes, I am. You won't believe how lazy I am. Yeah, speaking of being lazy, sometimes I leave stuff on the floor. It's annoying to people. I'm just curious. How bad are you? Are you somewhere similar like me? No, I'm not that bad, but I leave a few stuff here and there. And she's like, I gotta get going. Oh, she's gotta get going. She's off the fucking line. Bah! Right? Chris Brown. Then she's like, what the fuck? Now she's facing you again. Then you go back to the jab. Yeah, it's funny because blah, blah, blah. My friend Anna was also very, very lazy and disorganized, but she's also a nurse. So I'm just curious. What do you do for a living? And are you still working during COVID-19? Sure, I am. Right now, I'm working, making jewelry for a living and blah, blah, blah. Good. Now you got her opening up. That's what you want. Blah, 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 blah. Get her opening up. So it's all about the line. They say, oh, my game is like Jordan Belfort's, and even though, I didn't close them to the fucking pull infields, they don't mean shit. I can post as many pull infields as you guys want. You know that? From beginning to end. And I can mock it if I want to. Pull infields. But even Brad Ass Kiss can post pull infields and nothing happens. It's like tall white man walks a woman into a door. That's what it should be called. Pull infields. Oh, yes, pull infields. Good for you. But no one gives a shit. Because for them, they're touching their way to victory. So if we look at their game, they're escalating too much. So the escalation, so we know a hook is a flirt. Then what's the last punch? Uppercut. What do you think the last punch is? Uppercut. If we got the conversational skills, we have the right cross, we have the hook for the flirt, it's the uppercut. So how do you throw uppercut? Lower your body and protect the chin because they can still hit you in the head. Down and then up. That's uppercut. Down, up. Right in the chin. Hit him like a bunt. Uppercut. Like that. So what's uppercut? An uppercut is touch. So when you look at Justin Wayne's game, it's all about uppercuts. You see that? Touch. RSD Tyler game, more touch. So now we know the first thing. And you're missing the best part, Nathan Kelly. But for noob, it means RSD Tyler's game is so heavily uppercuts. Tyler's eating every motherfucking punch. He's eating the jabs. He's eating all the right crosses from the women. Do you guys get it now? Give it a thumbs up. Tyler is eating a lot of punches. And these RSD victims are basically giving a compliment. They're touching a little bit. They're having a 3-minute conversation because they're autistic. And then afterwards, guess what happens? They get a phone number. And then most of them flake. Unless they're really tall. And luckily, they luck out with a woman who's 4 out of 10 in looks. But they don't want to show it because they're thinking, whoa, they're like, I'm Asian and I fucked a white girl. But dude, she's like fucking 3 out of 10. Yeah, but she's still a white girl. So therefore, dude, you just put your dick in that fucking walrus. And you are seeing RSD works. So in a long enough timeline, RSD could work. But it doesn't work for everyone. Because this particular student right now, let me talk to him. He's the guy who is 5'5". 5'4", or something like that. Where he was. Yes, sir, I'll be your data as a 2-core processor. We can make it happen. So for him, he didn't get laid from RSD. While the other 5'11" student did. And they know of each other. A little over 4 minutes. Now he's seeing his conversation last 4 minutes. Less than 3 minutes for the next one. Going solo Tuesdays and Thursday practice in the morning. I'm going to do no stakes. If you really want to increase the think about it's like watch time. It's like YouTube, right? The longer you can make the watch time, the better. So if you're 3 or 4 minutes, then you're off the line somewhere. most likely there's something that's broken within your conversation because the comments open and questions, right? It's kind of like a tennis racket. You got to pull it back and hit them at the right time. So the questions either have to be better to be more optimized, or the comments have to be better. But the thing is, or maybe you're not listening enough to what she's saying as a key words. Therefore, you cannot keep in this boxing match, which I'm talking on YouTube Live. So,
if you really want to,
so that's how elite access happens. They get a little bit of clue, so now they know exactly what to work on. You see that? And they usually can ask 2 questions a day. Some of them can get a critique or something, and I can hear their mistakes. For example, here's another student over here.
Excuse me real quick. I have a question. I was looking for this place called Zara. Do you know where I can find it?
Okay, this is not bad, but it goes faster and faster because of the cortisol in the system.
Hey, by the way, I just noticed something.
Now he's talking about, by the way, I just noticed something. You see that? Once the cortisol hits, he lost it. It's just like lifting up the sword, right? And then dropping the shield. And now lifting up the shield and dropping the armor. Do you guys see it? You guys are literally seeing in real time that it's happening to a student. He is literally, when he's trying to work on a skill, and all of a sudden, he just can't fucking do it because he got it for half of the thing. And now it's breaking down. The dual core processor. It wasn't something I made up, guys. It wasn't. Listen.
About you. I noticed that you have this very creative and artistic vibe about you.
Now it's sounding angry. Artistic vibe about you. It sounds pissed off. And you can hear the one before it. Before it, when he slowed down, he sounded angrier because the dual core processor. He has to work at one skill at a time. RSD victims are not able to work on multiple skills. This is not something I'm making up, guys. Hear the one before.
Excuse me, real quick. I have a question. I was looking for this place called Zara. Do you know where I can find it?
Do you notice it sounds a lot angrier? That's the one before it.
Okay. Hey, by the way, I just noticed something about you.
See that? So it's not.
I noticed that you have the.
Interesting, right? Interesting, right? So that's how their brains work. They barely could learn a new skill. Whenever they focus on that one skill, like for example, be more enthusiastic. Because I told him that imagine a woman had come over her face and he's approaching her and he's happier because it's funny. And she doesn't know there's come all over her face, like somebody jizzed all over her fucking face. What's RSD? So RSD means like real sociopath dynamics. It's a cult of low self-esteem pickup artists who basically barely get any results, like 1% results. It is a really horrible death cult. And they usually are stuck in this death cult for 6 to 8 years. And the people that do get results are usually taller or they have some kind of SMV advantage, whether it's status, natural status. They have some kind of big advantage, but everyone else does not. So let's continue. So when you look at RSD Tyler's game, it's just all uppercuts, which is all touch, touch, touch. And you can see with Justin Wayne's game, it's all flirt, 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 hook, 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 hook. But because they're lacking the ability to throw the jab. Does that make sense? So when do you touch? It depends. It really depends on her. You see that, noob? I love the videos of you pull 2 girls next to a student that's too afraid to speak. I can't imagine how skilled you are to be able to do that. That's nothing. That's nothing. That's super fucking easy. And you can see a lot of videos when I fucking there's multiple women sometimes. Most coaches can't do that. But Johnny Elite can, because I can split the processing in my brain for both of them. Because I can see their behavior and I can adapt to it. It's not difficult. It's like a very powerful CPU here. It's like a fucking 8-core or 16-core processor here. But for other people, when they're autistic, they're like, ooh, high five, right? You two should kiss each other. I was like, what the fuck? Why do they have to kiss each other, right? You just like uppercut both of them at the same time, but you're eating a couple of punches back. That's why they call positive reactions. So don't touch your way to victory. See, that's the problem. And you're like, hey, I want to meet you real quick. Okay? And then they start, I want to take a look at your ass. Turn around. Oh, I'm gonna slap your ass. So like, what the fuck? That's fucking sociopathic as shit. Oh yeah, but I'm gonna touch you some more. Okay, let me get the number. So they try to use a behavioral game, but because they lack the ability to fucking speak properly, they have to touch their way to victory. So they start uppercutting a lot. You get it? They don't have to tease because they're so tall, and their uppercuts at least, enough to stagger them. They have no fucking jabs and no right crosses. It's just all uppercuts. But you're like, I say, oh, you got so much proof and whatever. I can post endless fucking infield, endless, more than these motherfuckers can. If I had to, for example, they just want to point cameras at me, and the goal is just to demonstrate a pull and not a lay. Okay, if that's the goal, just a pull. That means you don't aim for the sex. I can get 4 fucking pulls a day, 3 or 4, averagely. So that'd be 3 months. I get 100 pull infields. Big fucking deal. I could do it on the first approach every single time if I wanted to, but that would normally be a close. But that's how easy it is for me because I keep them on the line. It's a boxing match. Don't you guys get it? Give a thumbs up if you guys get it. There's no fucking 10% shit. It's a boxing match. They're off the line. They're talking about Jordan Belfort. Jordan Belfort? They're off the fucking... Jordan Belfort talks about keeping her on the line, but so does Johnny Elite because we all think the same. All the people that are best in the world at something knows how to keep people on the line. Mayweather knows how to keep them on the line with their defense. You get it? We all have the same fucking mental filter. It's like, well, if Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, Mayweather, Johnny Elite, right? Jordan Belfort, everyone has the same fucking brain. That's why we're dominating the industry. Are you saying they're all psychopaths or something? That's what I'm not sure what I'm saying, but I'm just saying. Are they all the same mindset? Are they blue blood? Are they born into this? Like, they know. Well, the thing about the mental filter, how it's processed. Maybe they're not delusional. But whenever you're best in the world at something, they all have the same fucking attitude. They're trash talkers, like Michael Jordan, all this stuff. They almost have like a little bit of sadism. And they also have a little bit of that ego. They have a little bit of that. They're not delusional. That's the big advantage of me. That's what keeps me number one. Not delusional. The sociopaths, however, will never get this. Let's continue. So now you know that there's a boxing match. You see, the problem is RSD cannot actually interpret the boxing match because RSD victims, as you can see, okay, they're off the line. For example, as soon as she gives an attitude, you know what RSD victim does? They don't go back on the line. They're hoping by touching her that eventually it goes back on the line, but that only happens like once out every 10 times. So they call it spam approaching. You see that? They're off the line. And then, oh no, then they'll tell themselves, maybe she's busy or something. She didn't want to fuck the first night or first day. They'll make up some bullshit excuse. Maybe she has a boyfriend. It's nothing to do with me. It has everything to do with you. Or they go direct right here in the beginning, right here. Hi, I love you. You're cute. Guess what? They're off the line. Now they have to do like fucking 50 approaches just to get that one infield. That's fucking stupid. Because they just have to do a fucking right cross. Or a flirt. Hi, whatever, right? You're cute. So cute is more like, right cross really hard. To stagger her. And that's the problem that they don't understand. Because when you tell her that she's cute, she's going to fix her hair a little bit and you get positive reactions. Let me tell you, noob. Okay? Let's say hypothetically. Okay, this is my thing for the phone so I can type. Pretend this is solar panels, okay? And I was like, hey, noob, I want to sell you some solar panels, okay? And, I think they're great for your house. You save so much money. And let's say, noob, for example, you don't give a fuck about solar panels. How will you behave if you don't want to hurt the guy's feelings? How will you behave? You'll be nice, right, wouldn't you? Right? You'll be like, oh, yeah, I love solar panels, right? They're great. Elon Musk talk. You see that? The fake reactions. Do you see that? Oh, yeah, tell me more about it. That's great. You know what? Send me email later. And you flake. Women are doing that to you guys. Because you're not boxing properly. You know why? Because, guess what? You're autistic. You cannot interpret the line. Do you guys get it? Because you cannot see the punches coming. Because you're so narcissistic and delusional. it's almost like overridden. They can't see the punches coming. You're like, holy shit, that's right. So therefore, they're always off the line, all the time. Some people like to touch their way to victory and get positive reactions. But guess what? Just like the solar panels, right? The fucking, look how nice and bright this is. You can change the colors. I can write on the cell phone here. But you're so off the line that just like saying, oh yeah, send me email later, right? I'll buy the solar panels. And guess what? That's a flake. That's a flake. And you're like, oh my God, how come no one knows about this? They don't know what the fuck I teach. My game is not easy unless you have some self-esteem. It's going to be very, very hard for the autistic people. That's why they always say, oh yeah, acting lessons, or yeah, you should not listen to John's game and all, because they're autistic. They're so off the fucking line that they're pumping steroids and preaching that 1% that RSD stuff works. They don't understand. They can't fucking interpret this. They always see game tactics, the fucking lines. They never see the fucking boxing match at all. It doesn't fucking hit the mental filter. Nothing. It's like there's nothing. It's like fucking. They just look at it and they just keep high-fiving and they keep doing this autistic fucking positive reactions. Because that's RSD victims. And now you know how RSD Julian's game is like. You know, it's a right cross. It's a self-amuse. And then now it's a question, right? So it's like this. Light that, but he's eating a punch. This. And the problem is that he doesn't last very long because their game is like 2 minutes of conversation and get a phone number close. That's it. You're like, shit. No wonder it sucks. Look at RSD Todd. Hi, you're cute, right? And then try to do like a hook punch. You know? Oh, that's adorable. Or half a hook. It's not even doing properly. It's kind of like this. He's fucking up the form. Because it's not really, it's a validation. It's like a blind-handed girl, whatever. You know, I'm blind. He's trying to get the frame of being cocky funny, right? He's not trying to go right cross. Being cocky funny. Oh, yeah. And then she's like trying to buy into his frame, right? And that's why he gets on the camera. So she's like, oh, yeah, I am like a girl, whatever, right? And you're like a boy and stuff like that. And we are so young, right? Even though they're old. She's buying into his frame. And now it looks decent on the camera. But he doesn't even have any conversational skills. It's just more like talk. It's just more like fucking validation. And he eats punches because he can't even fucking pull. The only time you saw Todd Valentine pull is in the fucking cab, and that's the end of it. It's a pull. It's a pull for white people. Or he walks her at nighttime into a fucking room in Las Vegas or something. But that's the problem. Why is it always at night? How come they can't do it during the day? That's fishy. That's very, very fishy. And that's why they have 2 testimonials, 2 posts. 2. Poe and Fields. Who gives a shit about Poe and Fields? Because white dating coaches, they'll make the excuse that, oh, it's illegal, right? You can't fucking do this. And yeah, because of the law. That's their fucking excuse. You can at least show one of them, just one, right? And hint at it without the audio in the bedroom. No, it was gray area. You can't do that because of breaking. They always recite the law. I know there's a gray area, okay? I know it's a gray area. But at least prove it once. Just once, guys. White dating coaches, listen to me. Just get one fucking open to sex, right? And you can censor it really heavily if she's in the bedroom. No audio, right? Just fucking do it. You can't fucking do it because you can't. You don't have the skills. See, that's the problem because they're touching their way to victory and she's not comfortable. It's pressure and release. There is no release in their game. They just uppercut their way to victory. Do they think they're like Rocky, like dun, 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 and they're eating all these punches? It's like stupid. The RC number closes and then takes the girl's flakes. That's exactly what happens. If you're not 5'11", she flakes on you. Or if you don't have a good lifestyle on Instagram, she flakes on you because you have no fucking value. That's the reality of it. So now you know Todd Valentine's game is shit. Look at fucking RSD Max. It's just like a little bit light punches, like a weak fuck trying to be natural, but he's autistic. So he can't even throw a fucking punch like this. Punch, he should punch on this 2 knuckles right here. Right? In the jab, right here. Boom. Down. But you know, Max can even throw a fucking jab properly because he's autistic. So he throws it like this. So he loves to play video games, you know, in Kiev, Ukraine. But he's actually in Odessa. Let's just say I never actually seen him in Kiev. So not even once. But He punches like this incorrectly. Okay, do. And it's like that's the wrong punch. But he doesn't do any of this other shit. They call it the natural. It's kind of like autistic, not natural, autistic, not like the real naturals. The people that mentored me. You know, the people that mentored me in text game, they're like, oh yeah, you learned text game for some. No, they didn't. This fucking Reddit fucking trolls. I thought I was the one teaching others text game. I was the text game guy. My Pakistani mentor is the text game guy. These guys are retarded. They don't get it. RSD victims are the worst people on earth. They all deserve to be like failing. The 99% deserves to fail. And eventually, after like a fucking 6 months to 7 or 8 months, guess what happens? One of these guys eventually gets laid with a fucking 3 out of 10. And now they're like, RSD works. I fucked a 3 out of 10. Woo, yeah. Right? And that's why they forgive RSD, because they fucked a 3 out of 10 or 3.5. And then they're like, oh yeah, it works, right? Fucking embarrassing. Embarrassing. What happened to Tom Terrell? He was doing London Day Game model a few years ago. I don't fucking know. Fuck Tom Terrell. You know? Fuck these London Day Game people. They came after my fucking student because, you know, because they realized that he got laid by Johnny Lee. And how dare you come after my students, you motherfuckers. So I have to fucking blur it, change his voice to lower. Like, Rogo. Fuck you guys. Whoever they come, like John Wick says, whoever they send, whoever they come, I'll kill them. I'll kill them all. And Winston says, of course you will, Jonathan. Then he said, Winston. I'm speaking metaphorically, of course. Not like a death threat. You fuck with my students, I will fuck with London Day Game. I will burn it to the ground, metaphorically speaking. Because that problem with London Day Game is that they're all like right cross, halfway, like this. And then it's just nothing but right crosses 4 times in a row. Then it's all jabs in the fucking rapport. Krauser dude is an outright racist. Yeah, fuck that guy. He called me like Chinky Wayne or something like that before, or a Slanty Wayne, like slanted eyes. And you know what happened when I saw Krauser? He actually does not live in like London. He lives in Poland. I kept calling him a faggot. I was like, faggot, faggot, faggot. It's not like I'm against like gay people or anything, but I kept calling him a faggot like 30 times in a row. He didn't fight back. He just kept looking down. As my other student there was the guy with the fucking 8 to 10 lays, that 5'7" Asian, I recorded testimonial in Poland. I just kind of faggot. Like Krauser, let me tell you the truth about Krauser. He doesn't fucking approach for shit. Maybe not around like me at the time. Second of all, Krauser, okay, for him, he is actually huge. A lot of people think Krauser is my height. We're both 5'7", right? Because he looks like a short guy in the camera. He looks like a short little guy with a leather jacket. That's what Krauser looks like. He looks like a short little fuck with a leather jacket. But how tall is Krauser compared to me? Krauser is 6 foot tall, guys. He's like 6'1" or 6 foot tall. And he's huge. He looks like he's on steroids. You're like, what the fuck? No way. Krauser is 6'1". He's huge. He is so big that he looks like a football player. But in the camera, he looks like a 5'8" midget or something, like Johnny Late, or 5'7", not 5'7". No, he's 6'1". He's huge. He's so big that it's like he looks. That's the funny thing. He's huge. Krauser is big. He is super big. It's almost like what the fuck. But Johnny Lee kept calling him a faggot. You're like, well, you can't say that on YouTube. No, I that's why I called him. That's a fact. I kept calling him a faggot. So he never called me Slanty Wayne again. Fucking idiot. Like, how fucking dare you? Like, that's fucking racist. Call me Slanty Wayne. Well, guess what? Mr. Slanty Wayne, or Johnny Lee, has 476 lay poll testimonials. RSD barely has any. RSD does not have any lay testimonials, or 0, because they don't get laid during the training period. Mic drop moment. Not during the training period. That means RSD has absolutely no testimonials. And when you look on their website, the reason why they only have one of a white guy that got a girlfriend is because he had value. Just like Todd Valentine, same thing. RSD Max has no testimonials. Julian has no testimonials. Charisma King has no testimonials. Asians that use like fucking Julian's game has no fucking lay testimonials. You get it? They lied to you. They have no fucking lay testimonials for RSD. at all. They have none, zero for all of them. So they're saying, oh yeah, I see in the comment section. Well, guess what? They're not during the training period. They're just fucking SMVing it. Potential, action, right? Results. They're just doing thousands of approaches until eventually something hooked, which is like a fucking 4 out of 10 looking women who's white. And the Asians are like doing this. That's all it is. It's so pathetic. Give a thumbs up if you guys, if that's a mic drop moment for you. That means RSD does not have any, out of hundreds of thousands of people, they don't even have any fucking testimonials. They do, because I do know in night game that the students do get late sometimes. You know that? They sometimes do get late at night game. So it does work a little bit for night game. Maybe 2 students that are tall. That's what they told me. Because the Middle Eastern guy, right? He runs all the hot seats. That's kind of weird. Like, the guy runs the hot seats, you're a student? Yeah. My student who is a fucking conquering game. 2 fucking models. He banged 2 models. His ex-girlfriend was a model too. And he dumped her. And this is in the beginning of the lockdown 1, COVID-19. It's fucking, it's hilarious. That's how good my students are. No results before. And he copied my infield. You know that? With the 2 blondes that pulled to the hostel and the fuck. He copied that fucking infield and he fingers a 18-year-old right outside of Brandville. Right outside that same fucking hostel too. Exactly the same place. He copied me. And therefore, that's why I have to be careful. I have to cut the infield. If you guys want me to, go through an infield, I could turn off all the volume and let you guys see it and censor it. You're like, wait, how come your infields are 3 or 4 hours, John? Or 4 or 5? Like, how many hours is your infield? You'd be like, shocked. You think the infields are 5 minutes or something. It's more like 5 hours. It takes a lot of social skills. That's why they don't tell you. It looks cool when I cut it. Those were the highlights, but most of it is just fucking jabs. Right? Occasional right crosses, jabs, jab, hooks, a few uppercuts here and there, but you'll see more of the uppercuts. You're like, it takes that long? Well, I'm sorry, but if you want to close during that day, it depends on the women. It's not up to you. You have to keep her on the line. That means you need social skills for at least a few hours. And that's the thing. They didn't want to tell you that it takes a few hours. It's not like you just a tall man going, hey, skeet, right? And let's walk it home, right, with a confident frame, and nothing happens in the bedroom. That's not how it works. It's not like a fucking 5-minute interaction after 26 approaches, and one of them comes home. It's not like that. It takes a fucking hour sometimes. Is there another Asian dating coach out there in Las Vegas? Yeah, who gives a fuck about him? So he got one fucking student laid, or I'm not sure if it was lay or 6 pulls or 6 lays, because he used the word pull. That's confusing. Maybe he just pulled 6 times. Like he pulled a Brad kiss 6 times. But whatever, he got one boot camp clip like that. I haven't seen more, but he might have. And everyone's just sucking his dick. Big fucking deal. Okay, sure, that student is short and stuff, okay? That's great. That guy's a natural. That student has good social skills, exactly to keep her on the line. That's an anomaly. I'm talking more about the rule, not the exceptions. They're like, oh, I know a guy who's tall. The autistic fucking... I know a guy who's taller than they don't get laid that much. Well, I know plenty of tall students that get laid faster than the short students. I even mark it down in the statistics. Green, yellow, and red. Red means it takes a long time. Yellow means it takes a little, like medium. And green, when it's fast. And usually the taller guys with my system, Elite 30, is faster. Faster. But it takes a little bit longer. And COVID-19 is a little bit different, guys. If you're Asian and you're from this Reddit fucking stupid forum group, you guys need to be so much better. You cannot be these unteachable Asians. You cannot be these unteachable Asians. Let me see. My convo was broken in some way I noticed, and I spoke fast still. Same mistake, disappointing myself. My brain did click a little bit yesterday how to deal with the short answers and no response. So that's positive. Well, that's the thing about the dual core, right? So maybe you can make a bunch of keywords or something, right? You can write them down and put it in a hat. And then you can just make a comment on all of them, right? So that's no stakes of practice. You don't have to worry about what she's saying. Or maybe you can start worrying about when you're asking a question, right? You could always like write down a keyword that you already said. So for example, she might be talking about she's a nurse, right? Speaking of the nurses, my friend Anna is a nurse. You write that down, right? because you can talk about your experience or your friend's experience or no experience. And then afterwards, then you can just worry about the one core, which you have to ask 2 good questions. It doesn't have to be one question because you want her thinking more. So sometimes not asking the good questions, she can't open up because it's too shallow. It's kind of like you forcing her to see if she can answer it. You trying to make her talk more, basically, bark more. As fucked up as that sound, you have to, because if you don't, you're stuck, and you're gonna be stuck on the line and call it a numbers game. So maybe you should break it down into pieces. Does that make sense? Write down possible comments, possible keywords and stuff like that, and just put them all in the hat. Then you just have to worry about that one skill or the dual core, that 2 pieces, or that one piece. No stakes practice. So yeah, it's like Johnny Lee access. So sometimes the students, when they're stuck, you have to train them differently. This guy's RSD victim. He came from the RSD background. He's the 5'4" student, that Asian. Now with heel lifts, he's around like 5'6.5". And his friend over there, before a wingman, the one that 5'11" who SMV'd it. But after my training, guess what? He's engaged right now. So it's a big difference. RSD after like 3,000 approaches, maybe one lay. My one just in 3 weeks, just like three fuck buddies, right? And then now he's engaged. I'm sorry, but height. If you don't think height matters to some degree, or muscles or looks, I don't know what the fuck you tell you. Johnny Lee's world's best dating coach. Not even close. Lay upon lay testimony. Holy shit! I only posted like one last time. I had to change the voice. There's more than 10 testimonials for new ones for COVID-19. I've only posted like 2 of them for that new series. There's 10 more, guys. What the? Should I post all 10 right away? But the thing is that I post it. People take it for granted. Because when I posted a testimonial, it didn't get that many views. And I posted the other one, the one afterwards. 4 fuck buddies, not 3, 4. People didn't care. It's just like, oh, another one, right? Another one. So let's see. 180 views. Come on, guys. 180 fucking views. Really? What the fuck? 3 fuck buddies, 180 views. Guess what? I already posted 4 fuck buddies. I had to change the voice again. Like I said to the London people, the coaches, they're coming after my student because it was like, oh, I can't believe you went to Johnny Lee. Yeah, because your fucking shit almost made him commit suicide, you fucking idiots in London Day Game. Fuck you guys. My student is protected by me. You fuck with me, you gotta fuck with John Wick. That's what I'm saying. Metaphorically speaking, don't fuck with me. Don't fuck with my students. He got the results. He earned it fair and square. You almost got him killed. Yeah, I think people what they most watch are infields. How do you not look like a creep hitting on younger women? Well, do I look like an older man? Even though I have gray hairs, right? You see it? They might think it's blonde. Well, you don't want to look older. That's one thing. And the second thing is that the way you dress is very important, because I have found even when you wear nice Rolexes and stuff like that, and nice watches, nice clothing, women like stuff like this, right? Look at that. Look at that. This is like the kind of watch that celebrities wear. Holy shit. Look at that. Fucking beautiful. When you wear nice watches and stuff, women actually respond. You're thinking, well, she's only like, she's younger. She's like 16 or 17, right? How does she know about that husband material? How does she know that money and husband material matters? Well, the thing is that she hasn't even dated older men yet. But somehow in her nervous system, she's already into older guys. Or not older guys, but guys with value, the way you dress. So how does she know? How does she know? So for example, when you dress nicer, and women respond to it. But why would they do that? It doesn't make any sense, because it's built into their evolutionary psychology circuits. It's built into their evolutionary psychology. They cannot help it but be attracted. Does that make sense? It is built there. So all this time, you're thinking, well, younger women are not into money and they're not into that. Well, yeah, their first boyfriend is usually around like 5'4" or 5'5". Is usually a short guy. Their second boyfriend is usually around 6'2". The third boyfriend is like 6'4". Their fourth boyfriend is like 6'6". Their Fifth boyfriend's like 5'11". The sixth boyfriend is like, it's always like that in Vancouver. The sixth boyfriends, they get married eventually with a taller guy, a little bit not super good looking. But before that, women are into money and they respond to it. You're like, what the fuck? It happens all the fucking time. It's evolutionary psychology. Every fucking time. It's built into it. It's just like you have approach anxiety. You're worried about the other guy, the alpha male in the tribe that's going to bash your fucking head in. But for women, it's built into it. Survival and replication value. Yeah, the first guy's short, but the next guy's always tall. For all the boyfriends, look around you. Look around you. It's just how the world works. It doesn't mean that all the time short guys are not going to, but sometimes the guy who's shorter has good social skills. That's evolutionary psychology. He met her in a social circle. Like you see a short Asian guy that looks like a fucking nerd with a hot white girl. But in reality, that white girl doesn't have any fucking friends. She's a fucking loner. She has no fucking social skills. And she's been friend zoned by a fucking like, how many Asian guys? Like fucking 3 or 4 nerdy fucking Asian guys because she's into fucking anime or some K-pop shit. But guess what happens over time? The guy, when he continues talking to her like a jab, he automatically starts to become more attractive to her over time in the social circle. They fall for each other, and one day they bang after maybe a couple months, sometimes even a couple years. But usually, he does not get a second white girl as easily. That's the truth. So all this time, you're thinking, well, there's the exception to the rule. No, it's not. He's an orbiter. And of all the orbiters, she picked the least beta, the tallest one. I'm sorry, but... And what happened to let's say there's 5 fucking beta Asians, and this hot Ukrainian girl picked one of them who's the tallest guy in the group. What happens to the other 4? Their testosterone goes down because they spent all these years trying to game her. But the guy, even though they have more social skills, the guy with more replication value won out. And sometimes these Asian guys do marry these white girls because they always have a good like job, survival value. You find that they make quite a bit of money, like higher than 6 figures. Higher than 6 figures, and they can raise a good family. So that matters. They're tall. They're entrepreneur. They make some good money. They can raise a family, and they get married. It happens. And they're whitewashed too. They have no inner game issues. But people say I'm approaching young girls. Okay, so like I said, it's not about it's not about dressing younger. It's about dressing more husband material. Because once you dress husband material and you have the value, teenage girls don't give a fuck. They're automatically into you. Look at my infields. I'm dressed in a blazer. I'm dressed with a nice watch, nice shoes. They're automatically into you. And yes, I do look younger. Let's not beat around the bush. How old do I look, guys? Like, honestly. Around, like, right now. I look quite young, right? I look like a fucking 23 or something. Maybe 24 at most. You see that? The fat's gone. Jaw's back. It's like, what the fuck, John? You are super old. You are OG day gamer 2001. But you look like a fucking... You look young. That's the thing, though. Young girls respond me well, okay? Sorry, I didn't mean I look like a creep around others. Young girls respond. Like I said, if you're wearing a fucking blazer, you have a good cologne, you dress rich, they're going to open up to you. They're just going to open up to you. It's just how it is. It's not creepy because women are into value. It's built right into their pussy. It's built right into their fucking evolutionary psychology. It's that simple. You want like a younger woman, right? In leather jackets, if I look like Justin Bieber, like a pretty boy type, that's easier in certain areas that I lived before. However, if more in the Vancouver area, then the blazers and the value overall, once it's calibrated, the exact shoes, the exact pants, everything, they open up. They're into that. They're into that. It's just how it is. They don't even give a fuck about your race. Be husband material. That's the problem because the 6 frames. The 6 frames. Same day late guy. Boyfriend, girlfriend, romantic, sexual, or a romance. Bullshit. You got the social circle, friend zone guy. The husband material. The high status. Daddy daughter frame. Celebrity status. So which frame do you fit into for younger women? Husband material. If you dress husband material, because women will eventually want to get married one day. You dress husband material, you skip the line like a nightclub. They open it up. Come on, in. Walk right through. And fuck her. Plow her. Just fucking walk right through. It's how it is. It's how it is. So, yeah. I mean, when you look at the women that are into me, have you ever noticed they're always some hot, pretty 18-year-old girl who is like, the best feature is their face. And they're super pretty. And that's all they're into me. They're like fucking... It's not like they have a yellow fever, but when they're young and they're pretty, and that's the best feature, they're always into Johnny Lee. They can't get enough of me. They'll stare at me. They'll gawk at me. That's just how they're like. When they're uglier, right? And they're like ugly face, and they're just sort of... They go for taller. They don't care about the face. But when they're pretty, when they're 8 or something or above, they look at me. So... 24, right? So 20. Okay, so we look at the average ages, okay? So Eric Q thinks I'm 25 or I look 25. Nathan Kelly is probably Asian. He thinks I look 27. And Beats think I look 24. So roughly, we can say around like 25, 26. So somewhere around there. 25 and a half. 26, somewhere like that. That means I don't look that old. But I can look younger if I really, really wanted to. You know that? I mean, every single week that goes by, if you want me to look younger and younger, I could freak you all the fuck out. So instead of listening to longevity or tips to look younger from guys who look exactly their age, are like, oh, women find me to be like 26 years old or 27. Bitch, please. If you really, really think you look 27 or 28, women says I look 28. They look exactly their fucking age. They look exactly like 30-something. In their late 30s. They're like, oh, yeah, I look like this. No, you don't. I should be giving the longevity advice. Because I'm not going to say my age. But I could be way older than that person. I could be. But I'm not saying what my age is. That's what I'm saying. So I'm just telling you. They don't care about your age. Just dress husband material. Skip the line in the club. You go right to it because she always go for the younger, dumber guy for his boyfriend. She's going to go through 12 guys or 10 guys and get married. But if you want to skip the 10 guys, right, and jump to the top of the line, be husband material. Women wants to get married. The ones who do not cheat wants to get married. The ones who do cheat, well, sluts, well, they're more into that, you know. But husband material first, and then you can switch to fuckboy. You can disqualify it. I don't want to be your boyfriend. Fuck her. And then get her on the line. You can use this to hook her. You get it? And disqualify yourself. Do you? I didn't think you guys heard this. You literally. This is a little bit unethical. You can use the husband material as a lead generator, and as soon as she's giving objections because she wants to delay the sex, tell her that you don't want to be her fucking boyfriend, and she'll have sex. And you use this stuff to get her into the bedroom, and then you disqualify, and then you fuck. Did you get that? It's a fucking mic drop moment. Again, use the husband material to bring her to the bedroom, disqualify yourself from the frame of being boyfriend, so she doesn't delay the sex. Deal with the objections, loop it until she's willing to fuck. Disqualify yourself. Do you guys get it? You're like, holy shit. So you're just using, yeah. Give them what they want. Don't you guys get it? RSD is not giving them what they want. They're wearing fucking RSD hoodies. You're wearing Todd Valentine's puffy jacket. And these fucking RSD victims on these fucking forum groups, especially where I get a lot of these students, so many fucking RSD victims. So many fucking RSD victims. So yes. It's unbelievable. A lot of people are sick of RSD. You know that? A lot of people are really stuck. That's why they come to me. The RSD victims are the worst. I used to get nothing but RSD victims before. And, just nothing. It's all RSD. A lot of my best students, the old ones, they're all RSD victims. They had no results. And they're like tall and they're decent looking. They have muscles. No results. 24. Okay, thank you. I need to stop worrying about what others think. Who gives a shit what other people think? I go online. My hair's all fucked up, right? And I got people hating on me on Reddit every single fucking day, trying to dissuade others with slander hit pieces that they should be sued for. I don't give a fuck, right? It's not good. I don't like to experience that, but I got people trying to dissuade and saying, back to RSD, you guys should all use RSD shit again. I just come on here and I fucking kick them in the face. Metaphorically speaking, of course. They're fucking RSD shit. So now that you know RSD, because they deny fashion, this is like taking the armor of a white person, stealing their fucking armor and using it on their white women. But no, RSD does not want to give women what they want. Women may want one thing, and they're like saying, no, women want steak. Women want RSD hoodies. No, they don't, and they burn out. These RSD victims in Vancouver, they're wearing fucking hoodies from H&M. I know you motherfuckers. From H&M. And guess what happens? They fucking burn out. Because they spam approach for 6 to 8 years. And what happens afterwards is they go to technical school. I know. So how does John know this? I know. I have my inside people. They know all this shit. You go to IT tech school, engineering. Am I right? And you go in a social circle. You try to get a white girl through social skills. But she's not that good looking. Or if you fuck up, you go to Thailand, right? And you move there forever. Am I right? I know you guys. That's how it's going to end for you guys. That means RSD only leads you to Thailand or a social circle. That means you should learn social skills in the first place, make more money like husband material, work on your lifestyle. Am I right? Build a social circle or have the social skills from a social circle and use it for day game. But instead they're doing this autistic fucking, oh yeah, I'm going to start hook punch. Losing my voice. The looping around objections concept you talked about the other day is key. Yeah, it is. So when they say this stupid shit like, oh, my objections dealing is, calibrated. It's like Sun Tzu, they win the battle before it's fought. Well, it's only winning for the tall white people or white people. Because 95% of their lay testimonials for Tinder does not count as lay testimonials. Tinder is not pickup. I'll say this again. Tinder is not pickup. Why do they call it pickup? Like, what the fuck? Oh, now people are dropping off. Tell me, are you really picking up? Or are you motherfuckers spending 8 hours a fucking day swiping? I know you guys. And you're looking at all the fat chicks, right? And they're all fucking chubby. You have to go through the war pigs, the fat fucking, the females of the species, so to speak. And then all of a sudden, you find like a decent looking one. And you're hoping that you swipe right. It should be into you. But you go through war pigs, one after another. And you spend 8 hours and you're hoping, but that fucking 8 hours, you could have closed twice. You gotta have 2 fucking same day lays under my fucking training. Yes, Reddit called me a creep. Fuck Reddit. Yeah, fuck Reddit. These people from Reddit needs to be like fucking invaded by John Elite. We need to make every single motherfucker, like Genghis Khan style. We need to turn every motherfucking Asian from there. Even these Asian masculinity fucking faggots. They're like fucking losers. They're like, oh, they're blaming the fucking society for everything. Or because the media is treating us like this. Black people are punching us in the back of the head. Well, you dress like you're fucking Wuhan wash, asshole. You deserve it. You dress like you are just right out of fucking China. You did this to yourself. Stop blaming the fucking media. Of course it hurts you in the media when you see 140 plus more hate crimes towards you, the Asians getting punched in the back of the head by black people. Right? Of course that's not going to be good for your image. But you caused this because all you could do is fucking protest your little fucking signs. I'm going to be teaching all of you motherfuckers Krav Maga on YouTube Live in the future so you can defend yourselves. You understand that? I'm gonna teach you all Krav Maga, awareness drills, and you can't. I'm not responsible for what happens to you, but you can protect yourself. So I would teach you how to fight. It's like, does John know how to fight? Dude, John know how to fight. I've been in Krav Maga for 5 years, guys. It takes about 10 years to get a black belt. I'm halfway through the system. Johnny Lee is trained like John Wick. I'm not joking. When you saw me in the video disarming guns and stuff, I could do that anytime without even thinking. It's automatic. I've been in like hundreds of fucking sparring matches, getting my head beaten down. I could fight guys who are tall as 6'1". But when they're 6'2", it's harder because the punches go down. They go right through my guard. I get hit really hard. But if they're 6'1", it's usually a tie. But if it's shorter, I beat them the fuck down. I hit as hard as Bruce Lee. Even some of the people that trained in Israel before, and they saw me hitting so hard, they're like, what the fuck? This little 129-pound Chinese guy hits fucking as hard as Bruce Lee, and they were very impressed. You know, some of the earlier people of Krav Maga. So, like the video. Exactly. Please like the video. Day game works really well here in Sweden because nobody here does it here in Sweden, approaching women a date. Every guy in Sweden are Tinder and desperate. In Sweden, they do a lot of this social circle game. It's very important that you maintain your reputation in Sweden. So you have to be careful that you don't get outed from the tribe. That's how Sweden is. Social skills matter in social calibrations. It matters so much. You try this gamey shit, you'll be outed in Sweden in no time. So if you got social skills, Sweden is easy. If you don't have social skills, it becomes like super hard. It is an unforgiving place, but the women there, they're all like bisexuals, and they love to do some kinky shit. They like to experiment. They don't give a fuck. And in Sweden, there's like a lot of gangs. Like I said, I have lots of students from Sweden, lots. So in Sweden, there's a lot of gangs and stuff. So you have to be careful. It's more dangerous than like fucking Middle Eastern places right now. Sweden, because is invaded by Somalis and invaded by Middle Easterns, and there are Middle Easterns that are born there. They're first, second generation. They're born there, so they don't even know their own language. So yes, I do know a lot about Sweden, but yes, while it is Tinder, and that's very important there, and not too many people cold approach. But if you can navigate the social circles and also navigate the day game, you'll conquer Sweden. You'll make it its bitch. But the thing is that you got to learn how to dress whitewashed. Because let's say, for example, if you're Middle Eastern there, they're going to assume that you're a rapist. They're going to assume you're a rapist because I don't want to sound like racist or nothing, but they're in Germany, in Sweden, they assume all the Middle Easterns are rapists. Seriously. Because they think you're the conquering tribe. You walk in, but some of you are born like second or third generation in Sweden. So you're not from the Middle East, but they'll assume that you're a rapist. So that's just the thing. It's unfortunate. But however, if you dress like my students for the pants and everything, the women will open up because you fit into the tribe. So it's a very tribal mentality. I hope that makes sense. So you always want to be careful with your reputation. You never want to try too hard, especially on your Instagram when you use it for Tinder. Never try too hard. You try too hard, you'd be kicked, like you'd be outed out of Sweden from the social circles. Your life would be more difficult. So better be careful. So evolutionary psychology is super fucking important there. Hope that makes sense. It can be either super easy or super hard. And for some of the Middle Eastern guys who are using too much gamey tactics, RSD shit, oh, you're going to have a very hard time in Sweden. Even if they don't have COVID-19 right now, like they didn't have the lockdowns there. They didn't have lockdowns there. They just sort of have this, they're trying to go for herd immunity there in Sweden. Herd immunity. But I'm just telling you guys the truth here. There's no spin or anything like that. You just want to get out of that negative stereotype. You know? Don't be that Middle Eastern guy that they think they're fucking rapists or something. It happens all the time. So what do you think is more powerful? Getting girls being well dressed or having muscles? It's nothing to do with that. It's nothing to do with being well dressed or getting muscles, because it's a question that doesn't answer all the questions. Because they tell you that, oh, you got to build the muscles, so they don't have to talk about the height. It's height plus muscles. It's not about fashion. Fuck this fashion. Okay, anytime you hear the word fashion, right? Look at this, okay? Johnny Lee's very fashionable, right? No, fuck the word fashion. So here's the word fashion, okay? You see it? Fashion. Okay? Fashion. Fuck you. That's what I think about fashion. It has nothing to do with being fashionable. You don't understand. It's not about being fashionable. That's a bad question. It's nothing to do with fashion. I'm dressing like I fit into a white girl's tribe. That's all. You understand that? It's like if I were Middle Eastern, I'm in Sweden, I'm basically stealing the white man's armor. I'm stealing the white man's armor and I'm using it against their women. So it has nothing to do with fashion. It has to do with husband material and dressing whitewashed. Whitewashed, not Wuhan washed or Bollywood washed. Whitewashed. In tribe. Framing, husband material. Are you guys getting it? Are you guys getting it? Huh? Give it a thumbs up if you get it. Fuck RSD, the way they dress. Oh, fashion doesn't matter. RSD hoodies. Number one. Losing my voice. RSD hoodies does not work. So it's not about muscles. It's about getting 20 out of 35. Okay? Noob? That's a very noob question. So, 1 second. I'll turn the fan over here. See if that helps. So, imagine that. Here's the real chart. Looks equals out of 10. Money equals out of 5. That means no matter how much money you make, it doesn't mean shit. Otherwise, the Asian will conquer everything. Status could be your lifestyle on Instagram. Status is out of 10. So, for example, if you are like 3 out of 10 for status, but you have a cool lifestyle, you can raise it by a few points. Does that make sense? So it makes no sense not to have a good lifestyle in evolutionary psychology for the tribe. It makes no fucking sense. But a lot of you RSD victims are loners and antisocial. You're lone hunters. You're not farmers. So your mentality cannot change. So for game. And this is what they don't talk about for the half-truth pill. Social skills, social calibrations, emotional control in game. 2.5. All right, I'll 2.5. 2.5. Well, I mean, sorry. Fuck. $2.5. Noob, look. This is equals 10. See that? 10. So it's all broken down. But there's also 5 mindsets that's separate. Okay? 5 mindsets out of 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Equals 50. So I can tell when the student's going to get laid faster. There are 5 mindsets. They're each out of 10. I have not reviewed this to the public yet. I'm going to talk about this in the future. How RSD mindsets gets people spam approaching, but it's not that. I can correct it. I can literally tell by this 50 over here, plus the other 30 or 25. Or 20 out of 35. So don't you see, noob? As long as you are over 20 out of 35, noob, you automatically get laid that week. They don't teach because they are ignorant of what works. This is first principles. This is evolutionary psychology. They tell you all these half-truth pills. They tell you, oh, it's all that's why you're all gaslighted. You all think it's muscles. What the fuck does muscles have to do with this? Muscles is only for height and muscles. If you guys are 5'7", you need muscles like my biggest fucking hater who's injecting steroids. You know how big is his muscles? He looks like a Ninja Turtle. Literally. All his muscles look like it's just so fucking no body fat. It is twice as big as Bruce Lee. You need that much muscles. So it's not going to work. If he was wearing heel lifts, then it's easier. You see that? So height matter. It's all, you just have to get over that fucking line. I thought they were 4-out tribe. You can be the exotic tribe, sure. But you don't understand when you ask me a question like that, because every ethnicity has a different value. For example, what's 10 out of 10 being white? White is right. So you want to be whitewashed. 8 out of 10 if you look like a black guy. You don't even have to be black. You don't have to be black. You just have to look like you're black. Now you got 8 out of 10. You just have to be what they call perceived natural status. You look at my old roommate, my friend. He looks like a Latino. That used to be 7 out of 10, but guess what? Latino stock went down. You know why it went down? Because of Donald Trump. The media. It lowered down MS-30, all that shit. Like they lowered the image of the Latinos. So who replaced them? The Middle Easterns are now 7 out of 10. Congratulations, Middle Eastern. You know, the so-called rapist of the group. So, no offense. I'm not trying to call you rapist, but that's how women perceive you in Sweden and Germany. John does not speak with a mental filter. So I'd rather get the truth out there and not think and just let you guys know without gaslighting you. It's not like I carefully plan every fucking thing I say. I'm not. But yeah, the 7 out of 10 Middle Easterns, women are into that now. Is the new thing. And the next thing is of Latinos. And then below that is the Pakistanis. Because the Pakistanis are usually darker skin and they're more alpha than the Indians. So what's number 5? So 5 and 4 area is the whitewash Indians. So if you're Indian, but you're dressed like my students, you're, instead of like being 2 out of 10 Indians, negative stereotype Indians, you move all the way up to number 4 out of 10 or 5. Is that cool? And then you can raise a little bit of lifestyle, right? Then you can raise it up to like 7 or something. You see that? So even if you're Indian, you have to speak like whitewashed. You have to dress whitewashed. They're the guys who are getting married with white girls. The whitewash Indians. You never want to be the negative stereotype 2 out of 10 Indians. 3 out of 10 short blacks. Because they don't have the protector status. You can see short blacks have no protector status unless pre-selection. The tall blacks are white women are into that. But without the muscles, they lose the pre-selection. What do you think happened to my 6'2" black student when he lost his fucking muscles? COVID-19. All the women disappeared. His so-called fucking game disappeared. So guess what he had to do? He had to learn fucking social skills and social calibrations first. You see that? Because he was black and he was tall, but he had no muscles. It matters because it's reinforcing the negative stereotype, the protector status, the pre-selection. That's how it is. So this whole thing is just down to a science, even the 5 mindsets. And I cannot talk about the mindsets. This will be a future video. New concepts that you've never heard of before. But yeah, 20 out of 35. The line of fuckability. Some people are way over it. My Pakistani mentor, Pakistani, like 6 out of 10. But his lifestyle, right? Already another 3 points, 9 out of 10. He's not good looking, but he's 5'11". He doesn't exaggerate his height. He doesn't lower it and just say that, even though they're 5'11" all the time. They don't. He's 5'11". He's fucking tall. These days, people want to lower their height because they want to seem more relatable. More relatable. That's fucking stupid. Because first they say height matters, and now they gotta lower their height. What the fuck? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That doesn't make it. So you guys are all gaslighted by half-truths thinking it's all muscles. Because that's what they told you. What matters more, height or muscles? Height beats muscles every fucking day of the week. Dressing whitewash helps, but be taller, boost your height with heel lifts and fucking elevator shoes, get above 5'9", and then work out and dress whitewashed. So you got more points for the looks. That's what you don't realize. Is objections more of a lack of social calibration or pre-selection. No, think about it this way. For objections is the left brain, the logical side. You can try to vibe your fucking mass like all these tall positive stereotypes when they play with that fucking game social or emotion social caliber. But however, the thing is that the right brain is more emotional, creative, abstract. So you can play that side of the game by spiking the emotions. But the left brain, however, is different. The left brain is logical. So a lot of the students I have are engineers and stuff. They're very logical. Math, they're into math. They're into like, all that shit, medical field, because they're left brain. But the women is, even if you spike the right brain over and over, you eventually have to deal with the objections because they'll come up. So if I want to sell somebody a Rolex like this, right, for like, $300,000 or something, like a rainbow, right? She might love it. I look Latino and 20% Middle Eastern. Should I be whitewashed? Oh yeah, hell yeah. If you are a whitewash plus that, it's way up there. So they'll be more thinking Middle Eastern than Latino. Does that make sense? You have to whitewash it because it's gonna be a gold fucking mine when you whitewash it. So let's say, for example, a person doesn't want to buy a fucking $350,000 watch. Okay, it's too fucking expensive. So they're gonna have objections on their left brain. Their right brain, they want this Rolex. It's called a Rolex Daytona Rainbow. But at the same time, they don't want to pay for it. So you have to deal with the objections. It's the same with women. They're always going to give you objections. It has nothing to do with pre-selection and that shit. They're always going to give an objection because the left brain needs to have the objections cleared. Don't you guys get it? If you're a tall white guy, you got 3 fucking objections to deal with. Skeet, right? They give a stupid flow chart with 14 objections, so all their students are white. 95% of them for testimonials. That doesn't work for everyone. But when you saw me looping it, an Asian has to loop 10 fucking testimonials. I'm sorry. Wait, another fucking mic drop moment, right? Where's the fucking mic, right? It's like, okay, so here's like this is for COVID, right? This is kind of like blue light. Another mic drop, right? I don't want to break this, but here's a mic drop moment. If you're Asian and you're short and you don't have that much value, you don't have a cool lifestyle, Instagram, nothing. You literally have to go through 10 fucking objections. If you're taller, you might go through 5. Taller, muscular, good looking. If you are Indian, you might go through a lot. If you're not a whitewash Indian, lots of objections, 8 of them. Don't you guys get it? Middle Eastern, right? You might go through 3 or 4 objections. White, maybe 1 or 2. Don't you guys get it? Because they're objecting to you based on your hypergamy, your hypergamy, your value. So you get more objections when you are like me. But I know how to clear all of them. That takes skill, not a fucking flow chart. You got to learn how to actually judo them, throw them over your shoulders. You can't just try to throw them in one hand like a white person where the woman goes down because the value is so high. Now you guys are getting it. You got to clear the objections, like Jordan Belfort says. But when they talk about, they go into a funnel, well, that means you didn't fucking clear the objections during day game because you didn't same day lay. That's the same thing as that. Buy some solar panels, right? I fucked up, right? Let's put you through a flow chart and let's see who buys on the other side. Are you guys kind of getting this? They fucked up with the day game, and so they call it leads. Without the conversion mechanism, whether it's a good Instagram or their lifestyle, they're a DJ, and they send pictures to women that, hey, look at me, I'm a DJ, right? Whatever the fuck they do, they pretend to switch a knob because they're a bunch of knobs. When they do something like that, then the women are like, oh, high value lifestyle. No, but it's not about status, it's about game. Objection. No, it's fucking like the only students that can get laid are gonna be tall white guys or not tall white guys on Tinder. Because there's more value, more status. John, can your method work in Asians? Check out my website. Wait. Sorry. You want to see how many fucking Asian testimonials I have? This is just the video testimonials. This is not even the fucking screenshot ones. Does that work for Asians? Sorry, I'm just does it work for Asians? Yeah, of course it works for Asians. Holy shit, I got the most Asians laden day game in the entire fucking world, dude. Like, look at every other Asian dating coach. You have, like, if you look at JT scam, no, I'm not saying it's a scam, but if you look at Queef and Casanova, they have less than 10 fucking late testimonials together, right? Fucking, that's how much I got a week before during COVID. Does it work? Look at it. I literally fucking taken over the whole fucking industry long time ago, even as gaming elite. And now you got these fucking Reddit, these fucking Asians are the so-called fucking, the Asians who are like, oh, woe is me, the Asian masculinity. Let's blame all masculinity. Let's go back to RSD shit. Let's spam approach. Let's be autistic. That's what they're thinking. Let's be autistic. I got the most students laid in the world for Asians in the whole fucking world combined. So you're asking me whether or not it works. Sorry, I just can't stop laughing like that. It's like, look at it. Look at the fucking website. It's like endless. It's like the only place that has this much Asian student results. Oh yeah, but your system is similar to other people because you use similar lines. Then where the fuck are their Asian late testimonials? Just like fucking, two or just one fucking token Asian who's like 5'11", full of muscles. That's excluding me. Right? I'm an anomaly. I've been a dating coach since like 2012. That's different. I'm a veteran. I started 2001. But excluding me, how many do they have? Similar system, my fucking ass. Justin Wayne has one token Asian. One that got married. Big fucking deal. Look at it. It's like I could scroll down all day. How many testimonies of Asians? It will never end. It will never end. Holy shit. And during lockdown 1, there's lots of Asians that got laid because it was the Wuhan flu from that side, right? It's not this side, right? But now they're starting to combine them together. So it's going to be harder for Asians. The autistic Asians out there will have to either wait for pandemic to be over or they have to work on the social skills flow drill like my Johnny Lee Access student. You guys have to get a lot better. Shit, it's already 2 hours, 8 minutes. The reason why I like the YouTube Live is because it's easier. It takes me about 6 hours to edit a video. This is just 2 hours of my time, and it already renders for me, so I don't have to do much work. And just write down some descriptions and shit. Johnny is the Asian master. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So let's see who asked me about. Like, do you have any Asian test? Oh yeah, maybe another. John, does your method work? I sorry, I can't stop laughing like that. It's just so fucking hilarious. Does it work for Asians? I mean, are you guys finding that funny? Like, it's like you've seen my testimonials before. I haven't even posted them all yet. Does it work for Asians? It's the only one that works for Asians consistently. Imagine if white dating coaches have John's skills. They will literally be able to fuck any girl at any point. That's correct. How about this? We'll take a look at one case study during COVID-19 lockdown 2. The London student who's around 6 foot tall, a lot like the white dating coaches. He basically got destroyed in day game. Elite 30, he got his first team DLA. But when he got 3 Skypes to learn from me and analyze every single piece to keep her on the line, what do you think happened? It's just the Asian girls living in the US. I mean, Asians' natural culture. I mean, girl with Asian natural culture. I have no idea what the question is. But look what happened when I took a white student and I taught him for 3 Skypes. The first Skype, he's already got like, as you can see the testimonials, already like 4 fuck buddies. Second Skype, a 5-some, and then it's up to like 8 or 9 lays because the women, 4 women, right? And after that, he fucked another chick, and then he fucked 2 models, and then his girlfriend is a model. I finally talked to him recently. He told me everything is fine. He's still with his model girlfriend, his beautiful model girlfriend. So I gave him some tips on how to get married. He told me he didn't want to be part of the game anymore. He says he's out of the game. So what happens when John's game is taught to a white person? He only learned from 3 Skypes. If he learned from 4 Skypes, right, he'll be even better. How scary is my game when you give this to a London guy who basically was pretty much an incel? He has no fucking results before, about to kill himself. Then I got him 1 lay with an Asian chick. And then afterwards, he got a Brazilian. And then he got all these 10 fucking fuck buddies. What do you guys think? What happens when a white person learns my game? You guys know the answer, right? What happened? So you have students from Africa or South America? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But that's before. Right now, Africa, not so much. But before, I did have students from Africa, yes. So the thing about the African students is that they're more like the Wakanda forever type. It's not trying to be racist. Because they're so serious. They're creating a negative stereotype. They don't feel like they need to be as muscular as the American Asians. African Americans. African Americans originally were brought to America as slaves. And they're bred for strength. It's not trying to be racist here. I'm just talking about the truth. So they're genetically much bigger than the Africans. The Africans avoided that. So genetically, African Americans are like football players. They're way bigger than you guys. They're way taller. Even if they're not really muscular, they're still very like tall and lean and strong. But the Africans, right, they're not as muscular as the African Americans. And for them, they also have this serious sort of mentality. They're always like Wakanda forever. So what that does is it reinforces the negative stereotype. They also think like in Africa, there's AIDS and stuff like that. So therefore, that's what happens. But a lot of the African people, they usually go to live in French places, either in France or Montreal. All the Africans, they fly to Montreal in France. It's like they navigate towards the bonjour. Je m'appelle Jean Elite. Right? Oui, like, comme ci, comme ça. So, hope that makes sense. And everything works the same way in South Africa, it's all 20 or 35 guys. And if you're the same race going for the same women, you have the same SMV for the natural status. Does that make sense? You have the same chart. So if they try to teach the RT shit in China, their bullshit Julian Blanc game, they're going for Asian with the same fucking SMV. So if you're going for a black girl and you're a black guy, you have the same natural status. Hope that makes sense. So it's only when you have a different natural status does the numbers and variables changes. This is all 20 out of 35. It has nothing to do with muscles. It has nothing to do with just, is it height? It's 20 out of 35. If you don't have height and muscles, there's a guy from the inner circle who has perfect social skills. His hair is thinning. He's 300 pounds. He's Asian. His eyes are crooked like Pennywise. And he's fat as fuck, 300 pounds. But he's still banging tons of white girls because he has a social circle. Yeah, he can bring 10 white girls to a club that are super hot anytime with him. So, yeah, that's his specialty. He's very chilled. So, overall, for his job, is pretty decent. and he has 10 other white girls. So that raises his status. It raises his lifestyle. And his chillness is just like the emotional control. Does that make sense? Pre-selection, all that stuff. So it has nothing to do with your race, this, that. It has to do with the overall value. So the best way to imagine it is that imagine there's a bag somewhere, okay? Let's see if I can find a bag. Okay, and right now, I can't. Is this the bag? Okay, hold on a second. So imagine I'm holding a bag, okay? Maybe this is a bag. I don't know. Pretend this is a bag. Women can weigh whether or not it's 20 kilograms or not, 20 or 35, by your behavior, by the way you behave. So if you are fucking your sister all the time, your vibe, your emotions will be better, and your body language will stick up more. So you raise the points. If you're a bencho, you're fucking your sister all the time. See that? They can weigh it. They can weigh it by the way you dress, by the way you act, by the way you stand, by the way your social skills is. All the points, the women, just like the teenage girls that seem to know the husband material is somehow important. They know. Because women can weigh everything. You get it? Their mind, evolutionary psychology, they can weigh the value. They can tell by the way you behave. So it's a behavioral game. Okay, another mic drop moment is behavioral game. Nothing to do with his fucking game tactics as these fucking Reddit fucking faggots are hitting on me. Oh yeah, John uses his teas from Todd Valentine and, you know, Ross Jeffries, and fuck that. It's behavioral game. These dumb fucking cock fags. I need to stop saying the word faggot because I can get canceled. Again, I get canceled like twice a week these days. So many fucking haters everywhere. I keep getting canceled. They get jealous too. But that's all I'm saying. You can see what happens. It's all about how much you weigh in the value overall. That's it. So if you're a short black guy, then you gotta at least dress husband material, wear blazers and shit, make more money, and do something cool. And break your negative stereotype. Chill the fuck out. Right? If you're a tall black guy, it's a different value too. African American. So yeah. Fuck Reddit. They made me depressed. I tried to help them. I think Reddit needs to be taken down a notch. Because if some guy is angry at me because I'm like invading them or something, even though I didn't mean to, they're accusing me of making alt accounts and trying to promote my business. In reality, I'm not. That wasn't even me. It could be another fan somewhere. Who knows? It could even be you. I don't know. But somebody's promoting my stuff there, and this fucking guy, Greg the Guzman, whatever, old student, who fucking had no results before, paid me $40 for email coaching. His brother's autistic, so I create Elite 30 just to help the autistic people. He got 7 fucking layers of my coaching. He should be left in the fucking sewer, that Ninja Turtle. And his brother's autistic as shit. And he's trying to use his brother's account and say, oh, I'm ready to train now. Well, how can you be ready to train when you fucking trash my business? Fuck Reddit. Reddit is a place where you can cancel people by being fucking faceless. These fucking trolls. In the future, all students that are Asian will be learning from John Elite or Genghis Khan. You'll all be learning from my system. All of you, I want every motherfucker. Here's my new manifestation. Reddit. Asian masculinity. All the ones who hates me and thinks I'm like fucking JT Tran or Queefing Casanova want their money. I'm going to get every one of you laid. Because when you get laid, you shine like a light, a beacon to the whole world. Even if it takes you guys a few years to get the neural pathways, the point is, or maybe it might be quick. Maybe you wait until COVID-19 is over, or maybe now. I'm going to get every one of you motherfuckers laid. Every one of you. And right now, it feels like you're approaching during a KKK rally because everyone wants to punch you in the back of the fucking head because you dress Wuhan wash. But I'm going to get you all fucking laid. Every single one of you in a short time. Mark my fucking words. Every one of you motherfuckers, no matter how much you're fucking angry, I'm going to get you all laid. And they're like, oh, they tried to write the word scam. Well, how is it a scam when I have the most fucking student results in the world? Then they try to attack the students. Oh, it's no big deal. The students are good looking or tall. They're not good looking or tall. Some of them are tall. No, they're very average. I get attacked like crazy. I mean, fuck Reddit. Yeah, women are very good at reading body language. Do you open a consulting service? I do have a consulting service called the Elite Access. So when you saw me talking to this student, for example, when I was talking to this student and he was asking for advice and stuff, it was consulting. So when he was sending me infield to analyze.
During the early days of the second American invasion of Iraq.
So if he's reading off from a book to practice from the whatever, another student.
A group of soldiers set out for.
So they're all working. He has a weak tonality, so he's getting consultant for that, and he can ask me 2 questions a day. But you have to get Elite 30 first to get the consulting course. You get 2 questions a day from Elite Access, or you can ask me, John, what's the next step? I know. So I got a new Indian student from India. He's saying, what's the next step? I told him, here's the workout plan. Because he's been gaslighted where he thinks it's all about working on muscles. He should be really boosting his height, but good thing he's 5'9", so he knows. But he's a little bit skinny. Even he'll bulk up. In 3 weeks, he'll be huge. But he also have cortisol issues. So I told him to take ashwagandha and omega 369. So that's his question for day 2. And I hope one of the other John Elite Access students is not the motherfucker who's gaslighting me on that I'm teaching him, and he's like attacking me. That would be fucked up if I'm teaching my worst enemy, basically. So if your body language is good, you're more alpha and you don't get shit tested as much. That's right. That's right. She starts to submit. The only reason why you're getting shit tested like RSD Todd is because he's incongruent. He does not seem like an alpha male. He seems like a beta male. But sometimes women will give you a shit test just to double check whether or not you get angry. Because low value cucks will get angry during a shit test. But if you're getting shit tested all the time, and it's not like the time when she's going to fuck, then that's something wrong with that. But you always talk about these game tactics. It's behavioral game. You don't get shit tested very often when you're congruent. They just go with your frame. Does that make sense? That's why RSD, right? The victims, they always get fucking shit tested left and right. That's why you keep talking about shit test this, shit test that. Because their shit game in their autistic behavior is causing her to use this test to see whether or not he'll get mad. And low value people get mad. Low value people get mad. There are countries where people are violent. When they get angry, the woman gets turned off. So women are very good at reading body languages because of evolutionary psychology. They can actually read your social calibrations. This is why this stupid cockfag, this guy on Reddit is like, oh yeah, it's like acting lessons. Acting lessons, women can see right through that. You need to calibrate one day at a time. You got to calibrate one day at a time. Fuck Reddit. They made me depressed. Yeah, fuck them. Because it's always constantly like Asian masculinity. They're blaming it because they feel like they're not masculine or they're demasculated and treat like subhuman. No, you did this to yourselves, you fucking Reddit piece of shit. Great explanation, John. You really know a lot. It's not about knowing. It's about wisdom. I don't teach any knowledge. There's plenty of fucking knowledge. RSD has so much knowledge. All these coaches have knowledge. But what is wisdom, noob? What is wisdom? Knowledge is what to do. Wisdom is what not to do. You get it? By knowing what not to do, you just focus on this 1 or 2 things. Then your results skyrocket. You can't get wisdom without making mistakes. So I field tested every fucking combination, every single fucking mistake to get you that fucking wisdom. You guys are lucky that I cut the whole fucking learning curve for you guys. You guys should be like thanking me or something, giving me Nobel Peace Prize, not fucking trying to cancel me on Reddit. These fucking cockfags out there. Reddit needs to be fucking curb stomped in Genghis Khan. I never wanted to do that, but I guess my new manifestation is let's get every motherfucker laid there. Everything is field tested. There is no theories. It's all a science. So wisdom is the most important thing. You know how much the reason why you guys are still here after a couple hours is because you guys are hungry for this wisdom. You're hungry for it. You don't have any wisdom anywhere else. They're just telling you stupid shit, like work out more. There's no wisdom. Wisdom is what gets my students this much fucking results. You guys are hungry. Because this is the wellspring of truth. It's like the gospel. You guys are hungry for this is not a cult. You guys are fucking hungry for wisdom. You want real wisdom. You want some real shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking. 10%. It's not wisdom. It only gets like white students laid. 95%. That's not wisdom. Yeah, they're really so smart. Not smart enough. I got higher IQ, motherfucker. Higher. Way higher by like fucking many more points. It's like way higher, way higher. But they're like, oh yeah, there's no wisdom anywhere in this industry. You guys are dying for it. That's why you guys are like reading everything. That's why you guys can't wait to get those golden nuggets of wisdom. Am I right? Because you know that it fucking fast forwards like 4 or 5 years of your game. Every single one then. Right? The fucking boxing concept, 20 out of 35. 5 mindsets. You know? The RSD chart, social calibrations. Everything I tell you. Fast forwards everything. It's not about race. It's not about muscles. It's about 20. Every fucking thing I told you. Husband material. It fast forwards it. You guys are desperate for wisdom. That's all I gotta say. This is the end. I'm getting hungry. So I'm gonna get something to eat. I'm glad to spend some time with you guys. And I'm gonna be here on YouTube Live more because it doesn't take that long to do this. Okay? 2.5 hours. Big deal. But I get to spend time with you guys. I get to enlighten you guys. The enlightened Asians or enlightened day gamers are always, they get this. The sociopaths, you know, the blowhards, the angry, fucking autistic, triggered motherfuckers do not understand what I'm saying. You guys get it. You guys get it. So thank you for being here today. There's a lot of questions being answered. I'm very happy to answer them. And yeah, please go apply whatever I'm teaching you guys. Apply it as fast as possible. Maybe it's time to just get that blazer, make sure it fits well. Or maybe that pants, maybe that husband material. Start to adapt. Johnny Lee out. See you in the next stream. Maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow. But yeah, I want to spend some more time because I've been away for so long when this fucking computer broke. Or the other one over there, 17-inch one. Now I got a new one, a laptop. So I should be on here more. Because other dating coaches don't have enough social calibrations to do a YouTube Live. They just sound like an autistic person with Asperger's from the beginning to end. They can't move their fucking facial expressions. They can't change their tonality. But you guys get this. We're talking like social calibration. They don't have it. They can't move their fucking hands. They just robots. And they give you knowledge. But that's the problem with knowledge. Their knowledge doesn't have any fucking depth. Have you noticed that? It's so fucking shallow. It's like they don't even fucking loop their objections. They don't loop their fucking objections. Hell, they don't even know how to ask another question to grab the gi. And then redo the statements of empathy. I acknowledge. I get stupid idiots saying, oh, John's text game is copied from somebody else because you're sending them emotional message. It's not emotions, you dumb fuck. In the fucking message, it's I acknowledge in a looping. They say, oh, they're trying to say it. You learn. I thought it was a text. It's like so stupid. These guys are idiots. It's all looping. The whole thing is just loop, 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 loop. Copy somewhere else. Oh, fuck you. These people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. John makes sense. Standing up taller should be more afraid, and submissive meaning less shit test. Should be. It's not because she's more afraid. If you stand 45 degrees, you see that? Are you afraid when I talk to you like this? No. You know why? Because it's very calibrated. Look, this is afraid. If I stand like this, my chest out, hey, you're cute, right? Oh, wow. It's fucking beta. It's scary. You see that? But if you stand 45 degrees, guess what happens? It's almost like somebody's grabbing this hand and pulling this way. 45. See that? Body. Turn the head. Talk like this. Do you see that? You see how? Do you have cortisol when I talk to you? If you are a girl, you have cortisol when I talk like this. You have cortisol when I do halfway like this. Yeah. You have more cortisol. You see that? It's science. Science. Now you're getting it. That's just one day of Elite 30, and they say Elite Playbook is the same. It's not the same. It's not the same. They're taught different stuff. Yeah. See that? Very friendly. Now you get it. That's just one calibration. Now let's mix the neck thing, not moving the neck, and keeping the face around the same, and even talking your facial expressions like this. You see that? Way more calibrated. And moving the hands and everything like that. You see that? In the voice, and it's like so many things that you can really calibrate. Happy, fun, carefree, positive vibe. Where you see that? It's more calibrated. You feel different. You feel happier when I talk in this vibe. And the women do not get scared as much because you're not trying to be threatening. Chest out everything. Now you get it. Now you get it, noob. Or I mean, beats. Cool, cool. I love Russian girls. That's like, that is the Justin Wayne, right? Cool, 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 cool. I love Russian girls. Oh, nice. Oh, wow, cool. I love Russian girls. Oh, nice. Oh, wow, cool. You know, red wine, white wine. Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Oh, cool. Oh, red wine? Okay. You can drink my red wine in my house. I don't even bring a taser. Red wine, white wine. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Cool. I love what you love. I mean, are you such a low value fucking cuck that you're so impressed by the women? Why are you so impressed? You think that fucking alpha male they try to be impressed by women? They're not fucking impressed. That's why they do positive reactions and clown shit. Why would you give validation? Why? Just like my student, I'm telling them to slow the fuck down. Why would an alpha male need to talk so fucking fast? Doesn't make any fucking sense. Doesn't make any fucking sense. All right, no problem. Yes, you're right. We're hungry. Of course, you guys are dying for this knowledge. And you think you know me. That's the problem. These fucking autistic people are like, oh, I know John's game. They're so autistic, they have no depth in their thinking. They have no fucking idea what I teach. Nobody, not even other dating coaches know what I teach. They dismiss. Sheep's dismissed. But see you tomorrow or after tomorrow, right? Or if I don't post another video testimonial. I don't know. I haven't planned that far ahead. I just do. Anyways, later.